All right, welcome to another edition of the BS sessions, man. As always, I have my partner in crime there, Mr. Jerry Supe. What's up, brother?
Not man, what's going on, dude? Feeling good finally, man. It's been a rough couple of weeks, man. Looking forward to giving 100% to these shows, man.
Super fly.
Yeah, and three out of people are like into baseball season mode right now.
Yeah.
I had to
Hey,
say
you know
that.
what? It's slim pickings in baseball for me because I'm a Reds fan. I do have kind of
You
hopes
guys
that they
spent money
do.
this off season.
Yeah, I'm kind of
They
hoping
did.
that they can sneak in and maybe get a wild card. Hopefully, I'd be happy with that. I mean, you never know once you get in the playoffs, especially with baseball. Team gets hot in the playoffs, they can beat anybody. You know what I mean? So
Get Arizona.
Yeah,
we'll see. Exactly.
Oh,
There you go.
I didn't see that shit coming. We destroyed Arizona.
That's what I'm hoping for my Mets this year.
Well, you just signed JD Martinez.
Did they?
Yes.
When did that happen?
Really?
A few minutes ago.
Get
About
the
an hour
fuck
ago.
out of here. That's dope.
Yeah, you just signed JD Martinez. Came up
Woo!
on my... I get Dodger news. Dodger news reports on former Dodgers. I get that quick.
Hell yeah, baby. Now we got a DH finally. It only took.
I love that guy. You're gonna love him. He's a fucking great
wanted him
guy.
last year.
I wanted to keep him, but we got Ohtani. I was like, fuck. Can we
Speaking of
can we
which,
play him
only
in less...
12 mil? Holy shit.
Wow.
Oh my
1 year,
god.
12 mil. That's an
12
insane
mil.
contract.
What an amazing contract. Oh my god. That's amazing. Oh,
Talk about no low risk there.
dude,
I mean,
12
million.
mil for a guy who hit 270 with 33 homers and over 100 RBIs last year and only 113 games. That's oh my god.
He's a beast.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's where my-
You know what this is?
But-
This was Alonzo who got like a 7-foot erection because he knows his contract is about to fucking go up, hit with JD hitting behind him.
But anyway,
Anyway, wow, hijacked the show with
Back
Mets
to-
news right off
Well,
the bat. Damn.
Well, I
There's
was trying to
Kate. Here
get the
she comes.
sports news before Kate came on.
Yeah, because we got to talk about your boy Shohei.
There
That
she
whole
is.
shit might
What's
go
up,
down
Kate?
quick, dude.
Yeah.
Hi,
I
Kate,
don't know. I think Shohei's going to get away with it.
my
That
new
already
friend Kate. My new friend Kate.
Do you think he gambled? His guy did it. He said he has an addiction.
Oh yeah, right, Mark. I believe that.
Okay.
Honestly, as long as he didn't bet on
$4
baseball, I could care
million
less. honestly.
that
just in time for sports, Kate.
What sports
I
ball
don't,
you guys
I don't
think?
believe that, Mark. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
He's been nothing but a good citizen
All
of
right.
baseball.
Well, let me
That's all.
introduce the guests here tonight.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
please
Of course.
introduce
All right,
the
first of
guests.
all, we got from Redbeard Videos, man, one of the smartest MFers that I know on the planet, Chris Elio, man. How you doing?
I'm doing. I'm coming out of it, man. You
Good.
know what my personal life has been like for the past 3 months, and
Yep.
I'm coming out of it, so it's good. I'm feeling good. Energy's up. Yeah, I think the weather had a lot to do with it, so I'm good. I'm good.
Good. And then you got Andy Rodriguez and Kate Dore, my co-host from the Three Shots Down podcast, man. How are you
Woo!
doing tonight?
Yeah, man, we're chill. How's it going?
Just recorded a great show about Blaze Foley, which is a very entertaining subject.
Yep.
A
Great.
lot of fun. Hopefully that'll be out soon. How you guys doing?
Get it posted soon. I'm doing all right. My internet took a shit right before I came on, so I'm like, okay. But hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. It's really windy here, so we'll see what happens.
God. Oh.
All right. So what we're gonna do here
Not
tonight
you,
is
sorry.
something. Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, I just saw some. I can get to some BS right off the bat. You want some BS, like hot off the press BS?
Sure, go right ahead.
Dude, this June, get ready to laugh until it hurts with Disney Plus. Brand new series, brand new. The Golden Girls
You know, I have that in my fucking thing.
with
about-
Maya Rudolph, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Lisa Kudrow.
that's a fake that's a fake picture. I looked it up on the internet to make sure it was
Yeah.
real. It's fake.
But is the story real?
No, it's fake.
The whole thing is fake?
The whole thing is fake.
They're
Wow,
not. They're
look at
not
me.
exactly all golden yet. You know what I
Hot
mean?
off
I mean, they're
the, hot
probably
off
in
the
mid-
press is
Or
bullshit.
funny.
Well, what are we doing tonight, Jerry?
Yeah, we're doing something interesting tonight. We're gonna do our top 10 plus one songs that if we could ever perform on stage, what we would do. I'm kind of vague on the subject, so I hope I got it right. I think I got the spirit of the topic right.
So
So
since I pitched this one, let me see.
Yeah,
if
you
I
got to
can-
give him
Sure.
credit. It's a guest.
Let me see if
pick.
I can clear it. Let me see if I can clear it up for you.
Go right ahead.
I'm a singer, so I'm gonna stay away from songs that you sing, except for like one or two. Other than that, I've always wanted to either be a drummer or a lead
Okay.
guitarist. Like that's pretty
'Cause I-
much it.
So
So
I got a few songs that revolve around drums and stuff. So
yeah, and we
cool.
always and amongst music fans, I always find it like I never talk to music fans about like, dude, if I could play that song, I would. Or if I, but like when you're at a concert, you're like, God, that's fucking so cool. Like, look at Neil Peart play that, oh my God. Or I wish I could do that. Like, I wish I could do that. So, because that's the reason we all got into music in the first place, because we wish we could do it. Like, I think that's the reason why, especially people like us who are such ardent fans.
Yeah.
We wish we could do it. We're wannabes.
I used to get a freaking like broom and act like I was playing guitar, jumping off my bed, listening to fucking "Don't Let Him Go" for our Speedwagon.
I'll one up you.
Dude, that guitar solo in that song rips.
I'll one
Mark,
up you.
you are a sweet talking stud, Mark. You know that.
I'll one up you. You're wearing a Styx shirt. I set up a whole mic stand with like a fake microphone, and like I was Tommy Shaw my whole childhood.
Yeah.
So there you go. Too. And Paul Stanley. Those are my two.
Yeah, I wore Jerry's. I wore Jerry's favorite album because Ricky Phillips quit Styx. So
that album is a collection. That album is a collection of shit. One of the worst albums I've ever heard. But one of my favorite bands, and it hurts because I love Styx.
Can't possibly be one of the worst albums you've ever heard.
It sucks. The Mission ruled, but that album sucked. No, as far as Styx is concerned,
I was gonna say it can't be one of the, because I got to tell you,
if you say Cyclorama, I'm leaving.
That album sucks.
I like
Cyclorama.
I like Cyclorama.
Edge of the Century, love it. I mean,
Edge of the Century's okay.
Ew.
Cyclorama is dog shit on a CD. That's what it is.
Glenn Burtnick, Love is a Ritual.
Good too,
decent
man.
Song.
Yeah, decent. I liked him better on a solo album called Heroes and Zeros, not with Styx.
He's a good songwriter.
They got a singer that didn't sound like Tommy. That was weird. Who's going to sing the Tommy tracks?
He did, and he got booed. He got flipped off.
Yeah, because he sucked. You can't replace Tommy Shaw with a fucking guy who doesn't even sound like Tommy Shaw. At least Dennis DeYoung got a fucking clone of JY and Tommy on his solo band.
Hey, man, Augie Zadra rules, man. He's a great guitar player. Anyway, anything else, Chris? I'm sorry. I think I might have interrupted you there.
No. That was it, man.
All right, let's start to BS, Mark.
All right, man. Well, you already brought up like the fake Golden Girls thing, but I saw a thing. They took a poll between Gen Z and the millennials, saying they're tired of reboots and remakes. They want something original. What do you think about that, Chris?
Oh, 1,000,000% agree. My God, I'm so tired of the reimagining. I remember back in I think it was like the late aughts, when Rob Zombie was doing all the Halloweens, and that's when the term reimagining came about, and I wanted to kill myself then, and I want to kill myself even more now. I can't stand more than anything. Like, look, I don't mind it. I don't know. Like I'm back and forth on it. I'm like I'm really excited. Like I just saw the first trailer for the new Beetlejuice. I'm fucking amped about that shit.
That's a continuation, though. It's way different,
right? But it's a sequel, exactly. It's a new concept, but it's a new idea with the same characters. Do that
with all practical effects, no CGI.
Yeah. But I mean, that's cool.
I never saw Beetlejuice.
Oh
my God, you should.
Great
movie. You like Michael Keaton?
Okay.
You don't like Michael Keaton?
Or like what they
I love Michael Keaton, but
Alec Baldwin?
It's fun. It's worth watching. It's fun.
Yeah, but never captured my attention. I was like,
I had the hots for Winona Ryder back then.
Well,
I was like,
let's put it this way, Andy. I don't know how much time you have on your hands in your life, but like 90 minutes of your life, I would give it a shot. Honestly, it's a short movie. It's a short watch. It's all funny. It's all entertainment.
Dude, I just watched Taxi Driver for the first time because everybody talks about Taxi Driver, and I was like, wait, he isn't a bad guy. He actually got the girl back to her family. I heard he was a pedo in that whole movie. I didn't want to see a movie about a pedo. I said, I'm gonna watch it. No, he got Jodie Foster back to her family. That was fucking cool.
But that's an investment. See, that's
long movie.
Yeah,
it was good.
It's a
I liked it.
Slow burn.
Yeah,
it's deep.
Well, he did take his date to go see a porno.
That was the thing to do in New York in the 70s.
Absolutely.
It's weird because it was like a thing to do in the 70s in New York to go see
to go to go see a porno at the movie theater with popcorn.
Another great example.
Popcorn.
That's some buttery popcorn.
I hope it was butter.
Oh,
So funny story about doing weird shit like that. My dad and his friend used to go and they would keep a bottle of lotion in their pocket and then have plastic spoons and put it on the plastic spoon and fling it around the crowd.
Oh, hilarious.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
I'm surprised they never got their asses beat down hard.
Right,
but-
right. Another good
They're
example
crazy.
of another good example though of like an old concept that needed to be refreshed and renewed would be what they're doing with Ghostbusters now. The last Ghostbusters movie and the new one that's coming out are fantastic. Like the newest one was great. The even newer one that's coming out, is it out already or it's coming
It's
out
Frozen
soon?
Kingdom. Yeah, it comes out
tonight.
Showings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks
I'm
so
actually
good. Like,
want to go see that movie.
It looks
looks
really
great.
good. I read some
Yeah.
bad reviews. I read some good reviews, but the one review I liked is that they keep the nostalgia, but moving the franchise forward at the same
Yes.
time. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's what the Lady Ghostbuster should have did instead of just putting those characters as different characters. I go, why is Bill Murray in here not playing this? Why is Dan Aykroyd not playing? Fuck this shit, but I do like the Lady Ghostbusters movie. I do own it. It's entertaining because they're talented actresses.
Yeah, I don't think they knew what to do with it or expect from it. I don't think.
Hey, I
think
liked
that
how
was the
they made
problem with
Chris
it.
Hemsworth the dumb blonde secretary. That was fucking hilarious.
I think Kate McKinnon's a fucking fantastic comedian, and I like Melissa McCarthy too. I was never too crazy about
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. I mean, she's all right.
Target lady.
She always plays a straight person. You know what I mean in movies. So I really.
Yeah, like in Bridesmaids, she was the straight one.
Yeah,
And
it's
Leslie,
weird.
Leslie Jones. I like Leslie Jones, but she kind of gets on my nerves after a while. I can only take her in short.
Why she played a straight woman on Saturday Night Live? She played off the wall fucking character.
I agree. That's why I don't understand.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
But like some other things, like so. Let me ask the group here in terms of remakes and things. How do you feel about so we've had like 4 or 5 different iterations of Batman at this point, but yet they're all different. The 60s Batman, Adam West versus Tim Burton's Batman with Michael Keaton versus Christopher Nolan's Batman with Christian Bale versus the newest one with Robert Pattinson. Like they're all unique in their own way.
And they all rule.
They're telling the same goddamn story. Like that I can deal with.
Except the George Clooney Batman. That was like not good.
Well, that was part of the Tim Burton series. That was part of the Tim Burton series.
He wasn't a good Batman. He was a good.
Who was Robin? Tim O'Donnell was that?
Yeah, but he was good in a movie before that.
Chris O'Donnell, yes.
He was good with Val Kilmer. That was a great fucking Batman movie. I just didn't like how they changed the color of Two-Face from black to Tommy Lee Jones. They took Lando out and put Tommy Lee Jones. That was like fucking whitewashing. Yeah, that's right. Shit.
I didn't know what
that
you were
was
talking
fucked
about
up.
for a second there. I'm like, what is he saying?
Well, you remember?
No, I do remember now. I do. Yeah.
All right, who's next to talk about it?
Kate. Kate. Remakes, reboots.
I'm more one to leave it to what it was, but there are some good remakes. I mean, I don't know. I don't hate the Rob Zombie stuff on a couple of the movies. I have to specify a couple of the movies. The Beetlejuice thing looks good. That'll be cool, I'm sure. But like the Ghostbusters, like the women Ghostbusters one, I was like, I didn't even see it.
It's okay. They just put them in a different universe, and they had like cameos between Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Ernie Hudson. And I go, what the fuck is this? Why aren't they playing themselves?
There's certain films that like shouldn't be redone, and I know it seems like they're just running out of ideas. So when you see something that's new and like a novel idea that somebody can come out with in the film industry, that's always refreshing. But there's so many stories, like classic stories, that are recycled over and over, like especially stuff based off, like Shakespeare. How many incarnations of different Shakespearean stories are redone all the time? And it's like somebody needs to think of something new. I don't know. I just get frustrated with that. A lot of them never do it justice, and you're never going to like it as much as something that you fell in love with when you were a kid or a teenager. So I kind of avoid them. It's just not my thing.
They can't remake your nostalgia.
No.
When I get to mine, I have some good remakes and I have some bad remakes.
Yeah. So. I know. I love this one. My friend was working with this group that was like an indie horror group in Michigan. They ended up getting some stuff picked up by Lionsgate and Broken Arrow. But anyway, they literally did a horror movie called The Remake, and the murderer, like the bad guy, is killing all these people that are remaking classic horror flicks or like
That's
slasher
awesome.
flicks.
What is that called?
It was called The Remake.
That's
but
awesome.
It was such a great concept that it's like this guy's sick of this shit and he goes out and he's just slaughtering all these people that are
was
trying
it actually
to like
good movie or
yeah, I thought they did a good job. It's like a 70-minute film, indie film. Wow. So it was fun. It was
awesome.
Cool. I think they did a good job. They had a couple things that were picked up by, like I said, they had 2 films I think on Lionsgate. I'd have to look at what the names of them were.
And
but
it's called The Remake.
Yeah, but they did a good job with stuff, and I love the concept of that. Like, this guy's sick of this shit, and they're ruining all the horror movies he loved as a kid, so he just snaps. And like,
that's awesome.
I don't know, it's just cool. Funny.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. All right, Andy, what do you think about it?
Well, remakes are nothing new. You know, you think of some movies in the 80s were also remakes from the movies from the 50s and 60s.
Yep.
So they're sticking out because there's a lot more now than there was back in the day. But Hollywood doing remakes is nothing new. It's been around for some time. Now, when it comes to Beetlejuice, I know that a lot of people are excited about it. But like I said before, I just never got into it because I just don't get into those kind of movies. It just doesn't grab my attention that much.
You look like Tim Burton comedy?
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
it's a dark comedy. It's a dark comedy. It's not a horror movie. It's a dark comedy by Tim Burton, dude.
Okay, I've seen it before.
Okay. Okay, thank you for admitting it.
So
no, but seriously, I do like Tim Burton. I love Michael Keaton. I like Michael Keaton and Mr. Mom. So
love that movie.
Love that movie.
Like that.
I like all the Michael Keaton movies.
The one where he went to Japan. What was that thing?
Gung Ho.
Gung Ho was a great movie.
Gung Ho was good.
Duplicity was fucking amazing.
Yes.
And let's not forget, like, the best one ever is Night Shift.
This is Chuck reminding Bill to shut up.
Ron Howard directing Fonzie in his own movie.
Like, oh my god! And then when he's like, he's in the hearse, he's like, "Do you guys like music?"
You know what I like about Michael Keaton?
Good.
Michael Keaton he does drama, he'll do comedy, but he still does the comedy. What pisses me off about Mr. Tom Hanks, if I could get back to your comedy roots, bitch. You were good in Bachelor Party. You were good in fucking that house movie. What was that house movie? Where fucking Shelley Long, where fucking
Money Pit.
The Money Pit. You know, Turner and Hooch. Movies like that, man. You were such a The Burbs. I love the fucking Burbs, dark comedy. Like, get back to that shit. You did something, The Lady Killers, but that wasn't all you. I want something that you take. Splash. Splash was amazing. You know, get back to that shit. You won your Academy Awards. Get back to comedy, man.
I think
Did you say Big?
More than just that.
Big is so good.
Big is great. Yeah, Big was like the beginning of the end for him with that, because that was like emotional, but like comedy and like.
No, but he did Turner and Hooch in The Burbs after that.
I love Turner and Hooch. Yeah.
How about this thing that Disney's doing with where they make the live action version of classic animated movies? Is that like a remake in your eyes, and how does that sit with you?
Why they're doing that is it's called money.
No, I know
they have to use that title, or it becomes what Steamboat Willie came public domain. So they have to keep remaking it to keep it.
I love when Mark has those moments where he gets to treat me like a moron. No, what I meant was, how do you feel about it?
I don't like them,
I know
but
why they do it.
I don't like them, but I understand why they're doing it. But Andy, you were still going on your thing on remakes and reboots, TVs. Movies.
Well, no, I was just saying that it's nothing new. And then we were talking about Michael Keaton, and we started to go through his career, and I love the guy. I think he's great. He is my favorite Batman, because when those Batmans came out, I was like 14. And I remember going to the mall and getting them Batman shirts and the caps. And
I agree. He's my favorite Batman.
Standing in line around a movie theater to see that movie opening night.
And
you don't do that anymore because
waiting for it to open.
You know,
Yeah.
kids are so lucky today because even though they're not going to the movies now because of COVID, there used to be only 6 or 5 or 4 movies in one movie. So you had to stand around a building. Star Trek 2, Batman, all these like Back to the Future. I had to stand around a building to watch
now, Mark,
that shit.
Now I want you to say the following sentence. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Thank you, because kids are so damn lucky today. You damn
They are so damn lucky. And I told you I do say get off my lawn. I told you. I said, no, they are. Everything is handed to them. They don't have to find anything. It's just there.
I remember we were in line to see Boys in the Hood, like in a long line. We were like 15 or 14. I don't remember how old we were, but we didn't even know what the movie was about. We thought it was going to be a comedy. And we sat down. We're like, what the hell is this about? We're like, damn, are we in the right movie?
Not a comedy. Not a comedy.
Just remember what Easy
movie. We loved it, but
you know, the boys in the hood are always hard. You're talking to trash, we'll pull your car.
Mark, you're total gangster, dude.
Don't front me, boy, because I ain't saying shit. I love Easy. I love Easy, motherfucker.
You are total gangster, man.
I love fucking Easy. I love Boys in the Hood. That's a great
you don't want to fuck
movie.
Easy E. No, that would be bad.
Well, he's dead.
That would be bad on a multitude of levels.
Scary remakes and reboots, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with them, but some of them I don't mind them redoing. I mean, if they're continuations, like a movie that I really thought was funny was The Vacation with the guy from The Office. I thought that movie was freaking hilarious.
It was actually okay. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The cows.
A terrible one was Poltergeist, and I love Sam Rockwell too. He's a fucking incredible actor. But man, that movie was fucking awful.
I didn't know they remade that.
They remade Poltergeist, really?
Yeah, about 10 years ago. Yeah,
I couldn't watch that. I love the first one so much. I cannot watch that one.
The only cool thing about it is you actually got to see inside, the area where Joe Beth Williams went in to get her daughter. So that part was kind of cool. But anyway, like that, they're doing a new Star Wars with Daisy Ridley, and from what I understand, they're going to go completely away and do a different story, which I'm glad they're doing because as much as I did like the last 3 Star Wars, they were kind of the same as the first 3.
Yeah,
or the 4, 5, and 6.
There was no cohesion in those 3.
All right. Okay. From what I understand, though, the story's gonna be like 20 years past all that mumbo jumbo, and the story's gonna be completely fucking different.
I hope they're writing them together instead of separate.
And they are going back to George Lucas for some things on this one, so you will have kind of a sound. So it might be kind of interesting. But I agree, man. It has originality gone from us. You know what I mean? Isn't there original stuff out there? I agree to a certain point. But at the same time, I don't mind remakes if it's good.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say George Lucas is going to be attached to the new Star Wars movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to suck.
Well, yeah, I like episode 2 and 3 better than episode 1. But I like episode 1 because Liam Neeson was in there and he was badass.
Listen.
Yeah, that Liam Neeson's.
It's Liam Neeson, man.
We love George Lucas for giving us Star Wars in the first place. But if you read the history of that entire franchise, he is the luckiest man in Hollywood history. Okay, I mean, he did brilliant things, but he ass backwards into that shit and lucked out in the writing because
American Graffiti sucks.
Because the proof is in the pudding. What? Episodes 1, 2, and 3, dog shit.
Very much so.
And then they fucked it up with Rise of Skywalker by basically erasing everything. Let's bring the Emperor back. None of this mattered. It doesn't matter.
Well,
I mean, he was the guy that directed it. What's his name? Shit.
I don't know, but they pieced it. It was J.J. Abrams,
J.J. Abrams, yeah,
but they pieced it together.
Just remember, in sci-fi and comic books, nobody dies.
Yes, I know.
You can tell they had no idea what they're going to do with the next movie after the first one was out.
George Lucas had a three movie treatment, and Kathleen Kennedy ripped it up.
No, what ruined this is that Star Wars fans are a bunch of bitches. When
exactly. Star Trek
fans
rule.
Ryan Johnson made an awesome movie in The Last Jedi and wanted to go even darker for the next one, and they fucked it up. And because if you ever read the original, go look it up, read the original script for what the third movie was supposed to be, and that's the movie I wanted to see, not the dog shit they gave us. Why did they kiss at the end? Ugh.
You have to remember Disney owns it now, and that's part of why it's not
I work
good.
there. I take no part in Disney bashing.
I used to work there, and they're gonna put out a killer Deadpool movie. So I can't.
Oh yeah,
blame them.
Deadpool's gonna rule because they let them BR.
But anyway, I mean,
Hey, Mark, hold on.
What was Kate saying?
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. No, I just was saying like Disney had to soften it up, and they have their like stupid jokes and shit that they say, and the actual script rating is really
I
frustrating.
can't wait for that new what's that fucking damn it, the blind dude Daredevil. I can't wait for the new Daredevil series because they are bringing back everybody from the Netflix one.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't kill Disney for softening things because like Echo was insane, and the Deadpool.
But before Disney owned them, I mean, the Star Wars, the 3 before Disney owned them sucked. Like,
well,
but those suck. Those suck because Jar Jar Binks sucks. So that's why those are shit.
They suck
well, that's why I said last week Jake Lloyd had to listen to Jar Jar Binks that whole episode. That's why he went crazy.
Yeah. Oh my
God! If Disney ever fucks with the black hole, I will fucking protest.
Dude, I need to watch that movie again. I haven't watched.
I want to see. I want to see my robots fly in the air and see the string. You know what I mean? That's what I fucking love that movie, dude.
Episodes 1, 2, and 3 sucked because George Lucas got.
Episode 3 was great when we saw fucking Obi-Wan fucking take out fucking legs. I love that shit.
Liam Neeson.
Well, Liam Neeson.
I don't know. That's like, yeah.
But the Obi-Wan series was pretty fucking straight. I did like that.
I'm sorry, Liam Neeson's best movie
Ewan
is
McGregor's in those. He's good.
Or next to Liam Neeson's best movie.
That lightsaber scene between Obi-Wan and Vader in that fucking Obi-Wan series.
Awesome.
No, the one in the Obi-Wan series is the fucking best one ever.
Oh, yeah.
But
I love it. I love it when he's talking with his helmet broken up and you hear Vader and Anakin's voice.
We'll get to Riverside by like Star Trek.
But let's talk about the greatest scene in Star Wars history is at the end of Rogue One. When friggin' when you get to see all the shit that happens right before A New Hope. Oh my god,
so amazing.
That scene where
Rogue One is
just
amazing,
killing everybody.
How you lift that dude up right into the ceiling, pulverize head
fucking
first.
Everybody up. Love that shit.
I will say I did like the Solo movie. I did not like it when I saw. I did not like it when I saw it in the movies, but I bought it because I'm like fucking Jerry with movies. I buy fucking in sequence with albums. And I bought it and I watched it and I watched it again. I go,
great.
They are fucking awesome. It's
just a fun ass movie.
It's a fun ass movie.
That whole movie is fun as shit.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. Love it.
All right, Mark.
I'm a Donald Glover stan.
Well, I still got to say about my reboots and remakes. There's like some remakes that were great. Scarface. What was that? 1940 something? Fucking Al Pacino, Scarface. That was a great remake. But look at the distance between that Scarface and the new Scarface. They're doing like 20 years now on remakes. They're not letting it like from the 40s, like all the ones in the 80s were 40s. It's like 40 years now. It's like 20 years. They're cutting that in half. And I'm like on fucking Point Break. What the fuck? What the fuck? That was fucking horrible. Fucking Total Recall. I love Colin Farrell. I think he's a great penguin. That was also fuck that movie. But I will say the Dread that Carl Urban made was way better than the Stallone version. That was more like the comic book. It was more there. It was there. And I liked the Overboard that the girl from Mom made and Scary Movie. I liked that. It was cool. It wasn't as great as the first Overboard. But if I ever see them make a fucking Big Trouble in Little China remake, or remake, I'm
the Roadhouse. That one is.
Oh god, that came out tonight, didn't it?
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, I think he's such a wimp. How is he gonna be like?
Oh yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal sucks.
Oh, I like.
That's like what's his ass from Twilight doing Batman. What's his ass?
Oh no,
Robert Pattinson.
But it's like they're wimps. Like, why are they getting?
Wimps.
Well, Robert Pattinson gained weight for Batman. Okay. Robert Pattinson played a detective Batman that we haven't seen since Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And I didn't watch it. I just think
you're missing. Kate, I'm going to tell you, I love Batman. I love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I like Christian Bale. I don't like George Clooney. I like Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer's good.
Val Kilmer's good. But Robert Pattinson when I saw that, I even made a video. I think I put it up on Freeform.
Yeah.
I said, this is not your Twilight Batman. Robert Pattinson. And then I forgot he made that movie Tenet. Have you seen that movie Tenet with Denzel Washington's son? He was in that right before Batman. He is a good actor. Kristen Stewart, not so much.
No.
But Robert Pattinson is a great actor.
Yeah.
And remember, George Clooney played in The Facts of Life, and he got better. Okay.
Yeah. And with the last Batman, you didn't have to deal with his parents getting killed like every fucking Batman before.
Yeah.
It would tell a story about his parents.
They didn't even go to that.
We know what happens.
They didn't do that. And the Catwoman, fucking Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe Kravitz, she was great.
Yeah. If you ever noticed that, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, I like the new Batman. I went in there not wanting to hate it. I didn't.
I like the last Joker. I like the Batman. I think what's going on, which is I think what's going on, which I like a lot, and because Marvel's caught on to this shit too, is that, like, for example, we've now had 3 Spider-Man movies, 4 actually, 5 actually, if you include the animated ones, where they barely touched on his origin, that he got bit by a spider.
I like that.
Like that's what I'm saying, because we know that shit already. Like, they just kind of glossed over it. Like I don't know if you watched Into the Spider-Verse or whatever the first.
I watched the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
So
I like the first one.
They just do it real quick. They're like, "Hey, my name is this, and this is what happened." Blah blah blah, and then on to the next thing. And because the whole origin movie thing is just shoot me in the head already. Like, enough. We know all this shit.
I gotta give
it out.
I gotta give a shout out to Nate Atchison. He thinks Ben Affleck is the best Batman. I like the Ben Affleck Batman. I think he got screwed with the script, and I like that. I like the Ben. I like the Batfleck. He isn't the best Batman.
He was a good Bruce Wayne, but a horrible Batman.
I would take Keaton, Bale, and Patterson over.
You mean Christian Bale?
I like Christian Bale.
I am Batman.
Christian Bale's a good Batman.
Batman. Just remember fucking him explaining Huey Lewis on the news in American Psycho.
But that's
history.
Yeah.
See, I think.
And then I like
they really hit their stride with 4.
I like Huey Lewis and the news. Huey and fucking Weird Al did a take of that scene where Huey is being a Christian Bale character. He says, "Don't fucking remake fuck with my songs," and he bats him on the head. And Weird Al, great. I want a new duck. Huey was pissed off. He was talking about, what was that? He was talking about American Psycho, how Christian Bale was doing this in American Psycho, and he turned it around and made it, "Don't fucking fuck my songs up, Weird Al."
Hey, amazing. Todd. Awesome. Anyway.
Like, in remakes suck unless they're done well. Like, you got Scarface, you got Dread.
Let me have one more point. What was that movie that fucking Lady Gaga did with Bradley Cooper a couple years ago?
I like that one. That was a great remake.
I didn't know there was 4 other versions of it before that one.
That was from the 40s, dude. And they had Chris Christopherson and what's her name?
Never knew that.
Babs.
Never knew that.
Babs.
Oh yeah, there's one for the 20s that was a silent film.
Yeah.
And then the one with Judy Garland in the 40s. And then one in the late 70s with Streisand and Chris Christopherson.
But look how long apart those were. Now they're doing them quicker.
As bad as that last one was, I don't care to see the other 4. So
hey, I will see that new Roadhouse.
The Garland one is good.
I will see that new Roadhouse because I gotta know how bad it sucks so I can talk shit about it.
I may watch that one. I may watch that tomorrow when I get off.
It's on Netflix, man. We're paying. It's like David Lee Roth says, "Fuck, I'm paying for it," right?
Yeah.
Might as well watch it. But let's get to some more. We already talked about Ricky Phillips leaving Styx. He's just gonna do other things, but shit. What do I got here? Ace Frehley says he might have. We have to get to our obligatory Kiss news in this episode. It's a new thing, Jerry. You know that. You're a Kiss nerd. Ace Frehley says he might have inspired Eddie Van Halen to start tapping.
Jerry just left.
You probably got some ideas for me. Well, I'll talk to the other Kiss nerd and Chris.
Yeah, I would say actually this is a pretty interesting thing because you brought it up as if it was like an absurdity. And the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't be the least, but I don't know if he inspired him to tap because I've never really seen Ace tap all that much. But like, if you listen to Eruption and you listen to Ace's like trademark solo, not really that different. I mean, the major difference is and like, you know what I mean? Like, so, and am I ever shocked when any guitarist says they're influenced by Ace Frehley? No. Or Jimmy Page, or like, he sounds like none of these guys. That's what makes Eddie Van Halen so great. But that doesn't mean he wasn't influenced by Ace Frehley. I mean, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. I'm shocked to hear when Geddy Lee says that they were influenced by Kiss, but not musically, by their work ethic, by the way that they did things. So I don't know. I didn't think this was that big a story. This is just another non-story Kiss story. That's what that is. Just for the sake of publishing Kiss crap online somewhere.
Well, you know what? It's our obligatory Kiss news, so we had to get it in. Kate, you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, whatever.
Okay.
That's a good
Andy?
That's a good take.
Jerry and
Jerry
Chris,
had to go get his Kiss hat.
well, Jerry
rules.
and Chris are bigger Kiss fans than I am, so they've heard every song by Kiss. So let me ask, did Ace Frehley finger tap? I don't remember ever hearing it.
Not at all. No.
So
not even after Eddie came along. It's
right. So how can he be influential to Eddie if he never did it? I mean,
okay.
I don't understand
Eddie,
that.
Is Eddie Van Halen's complete and total style finger tapping?
No, of course
not. A lot of rhythm.
But he mentioned finger tapping, though. He mentioned finger tapping.
Yeah, no, that's off. And I said that from the beginning. I mean, I think Ace was just out of his mind. But like at the end of the day, though, it's not surprising. Like maybe Ace wishes he inspired him to tap, but at the end of the day, maybe it was just a sound he was going for to do it somewhat.
Oh well, yeah, I can understand that all these guitarists get pieces from each other or inspire each other or go different routes because they hear so and so. But it was the finger tapping that he mentioned. That's because that's what he mentioned specifically. He didn't say my style of playing guitar.
Yeah, no,
he
said ridiculous.
Finger tapping.
No, that's a ridiculous statement. I mean, that's just look.
Yeah.
Aces said everything from "Wow, I really kind of wish I was on the last tour" to Eddie Van Halen picked up finger tapping from me. Like, why are we surprised by anything Ace really says at all? He's just pleading. He's almost as desperate as Paul and Gene for relevance. The only difference is Ace needs the money and Paul and Gene don't. that's the difference.
But this is time when Alex Van Halen should step up and say, yeah, that's not true. That's not true. Instead of just letting all this being said about his brother.
I'm sure he doesn't. He just doesn't even look at it as it's
if you've noticed,
nothing.
If you've noticed, Alex Van Halen, like I just actually recently heard an interview with Sammy Hagar because Sammy Hagar is going out on tour with his band there. They're doing a Van Halen centric.
Right. Well, it's just like Joe
Satriani. It's Joe Satriani. It's Michael Anthony, and it's Jason Bonham playing drums.
Well, it's like a circle without Vic.
Right, and he asked Jason Bonham to do it, and Jason Bonham said, "Yeah, I'll do it only if you ask Alex first, because respect needs to be, because this is clearly a Van Halen tribute tour is what he's doing. So he's going to go out and do all of his stuff and some other Van Halen stuff like deep cuts. That's what they're going to do. Deep cuts. They're not going to do just hits. They're going to do stuff that they seldomly did. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that Alex Van Halen won't even answer the phone. Like and it was an interesting point that Sammy brought up, that not only is Alex just like a private person, but he's never played with anybody but Eddie Van Halen. Alex.
Right.
He's never even played in a super group. He's never played. Like Sammy told a story about how on tour, him and Michael and Eddie would go out to bars and sometimes jam with local bands. How fucking sick is that? How cool is that? Like if you were in like a cover band local and like Eddie Van Halen shows up and like, hey, can I jump up and jam? Like, what? Are you shitting me? And they said they used to close down the bars and shit. But Alex would never get up on stage. Alex would never play with anybody else, even if it was just a goof. He didn't care. He was very specific to playing with his brother. So with that being said, Alex ain't going to come out and say shit about anybody. Yeah. He's just living his life. That's what he's doing. So.
Well, it'd be nice if it just say something and say, yeah, this isn't true. This is
Maybe Wolfie should.
false. But,
I
guess
just
he
want all this
wanted
drama to
to
go
remember it.
away and fucking stop the Van Hagar hate, stop the fucking Roth hate. I love them both. Roth did make a lot of shit albums, but so did Sammy.
I thought
Sammy's made a lot. Like Living It Up was a fucking horrible album. 9 out of 10 scale was a horrible album by Sammy Hagar. They all made horrible albums. Van Halen did.
I thought you were talking about Kiss because I wish they would go away.
Oh, Kiss. Well, Kiss has gone away, haven't they?
Well, to Paul and Gene's credit,
they're still alive. They're not.
Paul and Gene have been pretty quiet since they stopped the tour, so give them that much. They really haven't really said much.
They've been quiet.
But Ace, I don't know, Ace is just gone, dude.
You
can tell by his album is shitty.
That album's bad, dude.
Well, Jerry, we're on to you now.
Yeah, he sucks. I mean, he's just he just does the motions live nowadays. It's like, dude, I mean, as far as the tapping's concerned, cocaine's a hell of a drug, I guess, because I see nothing Ace influenced by Eddie Van Halen as far as especially tapping. So I don't know
tapping at all.
I mean Ace. I think there's an interview where I think Ace thought he won a Grammy or something, and the interview was. I mean, so yeah, his mind is. Ace, fucking Ace.
What more? I want a Grammy.
Yeah,
I got a Grammy. I don't know. That guy slurs so much, but I heard he has some health problems that he isn't coming out with that people aren't privy to. So I'm
surprised he's still alive. He's being held together by drugs that are still in his system. Like,
right?
How the fuck is that guy still alive?
But Glenn Hughes too. But Glenn Hughes is like more cohesive and more better.
Yeah. Keith Richards. Like you said Keith Richards, like Dennis Leary said, Keith, we can't do any drugs. You did all the drugs. When you die, we're gonna burn you and smoke your ashes.
That last fucking Rolling Stones album is fucking horrible.
No way.
I love it.
Oh.
That Dennis Leary comedy special was fucking awesome. What was the name of it?
It was called Bill Hicks. That's what it's called. It's called Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks.
Well, no. It was like No Cure for Cancer. That's what it was.
No, it's called Cancer. It was done 2 years prior. It was called Bill Hicks. It's the same
but it was
bit,
funny.
It's just delivered differently. It's funny. Yeah, I agree. I actually just said that recently that I wish Dennis Leary didn't rip off Bill Hicks so badly because it was awesome. But
because I'm an asshole. I like that song.
Yo.
That's a karaoke staple for me.
But okay, that's all I got to say about Ace.
Well, Ace, I'm just gonna go, man. I didn't like your last album, but I did like your albums before that. This is a very disappointed. I did have you pre-ordered for 10,000 volts because I did like this song, but then I heard the other 4 songs on it, and I heard the rest of the album. And I go, fuck, I didn't buy it. Thank God. God dang, that's like I like some Trickster. I don't like the first Trickster album, but I like some other Tricksters, and I like Steve Brown. It's a good guitar.
I don't even know there's more than one Trickster.
I don't like that first album.
I like that one. I like that one band Steve Brown's in, and I always forget the fucking name of it.
Tokyo Motor Fist.
Tokyo Motor Fist. Yeah.
I like 4 Trickster songs. 4. Count them.
Yeah, whatever.
4 whole songs.
I got the new Scott Stapp album. There you go. But
wow, that was a waste of mone.
Fuck you. Hey, they got Dorothy. He does a duet with Dorothy on here. Dorothy rules. Have you heard Dorothy?
Are we done with Kiss news?
We're done with Kiss news. Let's get to something good.
As a matter of fact, I don't want to talk about Kiss again until I'm 70. Okay, let's.
We have the obligatory Kiss news. If you're on this show, we have to give it for the fans. Well, I'm going to start with Andy on this. Neil Young back on Spotify.
Yeah. What
do you think about it?
I really have no I really don't have any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I really don't have an opinion on it. That's the business side of his life. It's got nothing to do with his fans. I mean, I could care less when he stopped being on Spotify and being back on Spotify. This is twice he's done this. It's not the first time he pulled it from Spotify. So
I think he's kind of being a hypocrite, though.
You think so?
Well, because he pulled it from Spotify because of Joe Rogan, which I don't really care for. And then he found out Joe Rogan's going to be on every fucking streaming service, so he goes, "Let's put it back on."
So then why is he hypocritical? Does he should he pull himself from every other streaming service?
No, he didn't. He just said,
No,
well,
Spotify, because it was an exclusive with Spotify. But yeah, is he gonna do that now? No. No way.
Well, I mean, like it or not, Joe Rogan's a fucking monster. He's a powerhouse in the podcasting world right now.
Yeah.
I liked him in that show he was in, what radio, something, news radio.
News radio.
He's great.
I don't know, but
that
somehow
show.
Joe Rogan is both simultaneously the smartest businessman in podcast and the biggest moron on podcasts.
Absolutely, I agree 100%.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I just how that guy must have the best management there is, because I don't know how. He's gotten dumber with every fucking show. I don't like.
That gets him more attention and that gets him more followers. Now, when it came to Neil Young, I knew that this question was going to come up eventually, and I really didn't care one way or another. That's the business side, and I care about his music, and I love his music. He's my second favorite, right behind the Beatles. And if he made a business decision, that's his. That's his business.
I'm gonna go because I love Neil. Andy, you got me into a lot of Neil Young that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. He's an amazing artist. He's an amazing singer. He's an amazing songwriter. I don't like people going like, I'm going to take it. Blah, 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 blah. Just stick to your guns. Keep it off Spotify. You said you're going to, like Kiss saying, hey, this is our final farewell tour.
Things change, man, from day to
I
day.
I don't like that. Motley Crue. I don't like that. I want people to say what they say and stick to it. That's just me.
Things change. They change their minds.
I know. Lights change.
Have you ever changed your mind before, Mark?
Not really.
Have you? You've never changed your mind before.
Not really. If I stick to a subject, I stick to that. I don't change my mind. I still think Slayer sucks. They have a couple good songs,
That actually explains a lot about Mark.
All right, you've never changed your mind before. Got it.
No,
being a guy who has debated Mark on a lot of different things, no, he does not change his mind.
I don't change my mind.
Even when he's dead fucking wrong.
No,
he will not change
I don't
his
give
mind.
a shit. Hey, you may be wrong to you, but I'm right to me. That's all that matters.
Ignorance is bliss.
All right, Kate, what do you think about Neil Young?
Whatever. I get why he did it before, but it's like, come on. I don't.
Rules.
That's such a weird protest in my mind. Like, how many people cared or noticed, especially Joe Rogan listeners, and that's like, I don't know. Whatever. He can do whatever he wants. He has plenty of money to do whatever he wants.
I was to say, Neil Young gave up his 0.0000167 per fucking stream. I mean, that was a big sacrifice.
He wasn't really losing money on that deal, so it's like whatever.
You said 1001. I started thinking of the Body Electric by
yeah.
I mean, Neil Young took a real hit on that one. His $67 a year.
I'm surprised he hasn't done what everybody else is doing and sold. Has he sold it? No, I guess he didn't sell his rights yet. All his music rights. And that seems to be the thing a lot of these older people are doing now.
I like Neil Young. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. In sports, though, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just sold like all his championship stuff, like his trophies, his rings.
He doesn't give a shit about that. He knows he's gonna die soon. That's fucking cool.
Well, no, he donated it.
Yeah,
he donated all the money, all the proceeds to like some children's school or something.
He's got enough money. He doesn't need it, man. Yeah. He's gonna die soon. You can't take it with you when you die. I admire that guy. I love Kareem, even though he's not in my religion. I don't have religion, but I'm not bringing religion here. Even though I agree with him on a lot of shit. That's cool, man.
I've always liked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, I love Kareem. He's a bitch. Yeah.
Roger Murdoch. Airplane.
Speaking of selling stuff, Kate just dropped an interesting BS topic. If we can change for a second here.
Go for it. I was just looking at that. Kate, go ahead real quick.
So you want to read it, Kate, or?
Yeah, my bullshit was.
I'm sorry. First of all, I got nothing to say about the Neil Young.
Wait. I was gonna say we didn't finish everybody Neil Young, right?
I did. I got in the middle of all you guys.
No, you're good.
I got nothing to say. So go ahead.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, Neil Young stuff. I'm like, I like Neil Young, but I don't care. Either way, whatever. It's not like I wasn't missing him on Spotify, at least.
That is literal BS.
Well, I'm gonna go see him May 1st.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
I would love to see
talented.
Him,
I'll see him, and I think it's him and Dylan and Willie Nelson in September here.
If they all make it to September,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, that'll be amazing.
It's gonna be him with no opener. It's just plain old Neil Young with Crazy Horse. Can't wait
cool.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
nice.
He's gonna
That'll
perform with a crazy horse. That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
dude.
All right, Kate, go ahead.
I just saw this. I always, whenever I'm going to do one of these, I like to look and see what kind of news is going on. So the New York Times posted a thing, Dear Layla, which is the letters from Clapton to Patty Boyd while she was with Harrison are going on auction. And in reading this article, it says that one of the letters is expected to fetch like $19,000. And it's like, this is the most mental thing to sell these like cheater letters. Her like she's married to Harrison at the time, and then she's gonna be like screwing around on him with these letters and Clapton or whatever. But I just think it's crazy that one letter they expect the price tag to start on auction at Christie's at $19,000.
Holy shit.
But my question with this, my bullshit, I gotta wonder, like, I've always thought about this because Harrison wrote Something About Her, which is like one of the most beautiful rock ballad love songs ever. And then Clapton gets her, or before Clapton was with her, he wrote Layla. And she's like, I knew that was about me, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, calm down. But then The Way You Look Tonight, which is also a beautiful song. And you know, I'm the ballad hater, but I do love those three songs. But I'm like, was this broad's insides lined with gold or something? Like, what's the deal with this broad that these two guys who could have literally anyone they wanted basically, and they're fighting over her? And I don't know, that's my bullshit.
She was a beautiful woman.
She's gorgeous, don't get me wrong.
And I just saw that documentary from 2018. I think it was Eric Clapton, 12 Bar Blues. Really good documentary where Patty talks a lot about that. And she stayed with George because he said, who do you want to go with? And she stayed with George, but she went to Clapton after her and George said, this isn't working. But then Clapton was on a lot of drugs and heroin, so it didn't work with them either. So
didn't work out so great, did it?
Yeah.
Well, really, Clapton was clean off of heroin when they got married. But it's not what Eric thought. I think Eric had a better relationship with her from afar than they had in real life.
That's what she said in the documentary with the audio.
It was definitely the chase that made her more appealing, without question.
Right. Yeah. Well, and once he won her, where you're like in competition musically with someone, right? So then he's like coveting her, and then when he finally gets her, he's kind of like,
You're hot, but come on.
You can have her back, George. It's okay.
Right.
My question is, who and why would you want this? Like, why would you spend so much money on something like this?
On something that has nothing to do with you.
The starting auction price is thought to be $19,000 for one, not the collection, one letter.
And the coolest thing that I saw, I'm looking at it now, is the one that's actually written on the Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, that's the 19,000 one.
Like, that's cool. But other than that, like, I could care less.
Yeah.
I could care, like, it's not a picture of the band. It's not a picture of them playing. It's not music. It's not even, it's probably stuff that, like, I mean, I understand it inspired these legendary songs, this one person.
Right.
But, like, I don't know, though. It's so seedy and awful. I don't know. Like, I
don't like the whole vibe around it, and the idea that somebody would like want it that bad that they're going to pay that much money for it. I think is weird.
It's so weird to me that this is stuff from 1971, and yet it feels so 2024 Twittery, doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like some like Twitter, like internet shit? Like oh my god, I'm watching this friendship like melt down on social media.
Like what's a good couple to compare it to, where it's like, oh, she left this dude for this other guy, like some
there's a lot of
there's a lot of actors ones that was like everyone freaking out about, like Kardashian with Pete Davidson and people that don't matter, like they're not that great, and people freak out about it. It's so mind-boggling.
You know what?
I put that up all the time. I said, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but then with But then
Right
just think,
now, like the Taylor Swift with what's his ass, the football guy,
Yeah.
people
Release.
freaking out about it. Man, I had a guy, one of my record pages, I do this one. It's just like a sharing what you're listening to. It's called Diamonds in the Groove. And I said talked some shit about Taylor Swift, but this guy came at me is like even more attacking Taylor Swift, and he lost his mind on me. He's like, people come home from work and they just want to watch football and they see that twig and he went insane to the point where he was an admin on the group and he got himself kicked out of the group. That's how insane this dude went. And I was like, dude, my first thing was talking shit about Taylor Swift. Like, what? It was nuts, but people freak out that bad about it. It's like, who fucking cares? Like, the NFL did it because they made an extra $800 million doing Taylor Swift bullshit.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey,
Blame
Bob
the
Hay, did you
NFL.
hear that?
Blame the NFL, anyone who's butthurt about Taylor Swift being on their TV.
I don't get people being.
I loved it.
Taylor Swift at all. Shut the fuck
Well,
up.
let me tell you something about
First
this
off,
show.
she was on the screen. She was on the screen like for 72 seconds or some shit like that. Like,
Right,
stop it.
People lost their minds about it. The game was like 6 hours, like literally went into overtime, and people were mad about a minute and a half of their time being on Taylor Swift.
I didn't give a shit. I was just pissed off. I went to bed.
Yeah, well,
early.
you're not a cuck or an incel. That's why you didn't
I was
care.
gonna say it's impotent white guys who aren't getting any.
That's what it is. It's like incel dudes that are like midlife crisising are the ones who freak the fuck out about it.
I mean, they showed her like for 1 minute.
I know.
I don't care about Taylor Swift. You know, I
should-
respect her on how she helps people, but I just don't like her music. That's it. You know, there should be no I should be able to say I don't like her music without some like 40-year-old
People
boy
losing
coming
their
after
mind.
me. Yeah,
those people.
Who's the 40-year-old boy?
Bob Hay.
I
Jerry.
know.
Those people should get pissed if Taylor Swift starts writing songs about eunuchs and incels. Like that's they're like, oh my god, hitting too close to home, hitting too close to home. You know what letters I would buy in a second? Like if there were letters about like between JFK and Marilyn Monroe. See that's
those would be cool.
You're talking about President of the United States. That is shit worth looking into. Like,
Well, and especially
What's that,
like
Jerry?
everything associated with her death too, because she was probably murdered and
the government,
probably exactly. So those he's got his Taylor Swiftie that he likes to
I was just looking at it.
He puts it on his pillow at night.
That's pretty much of a White House job right there.
Oh God! But
Marilyn Monroe.
That would be pretty wild to read something like that if anybody, if they ever
pay $19,000 for something like that. Sure,
something like that would be, or like you know who would be crazy? Somebody like one of these assassin people, like Lee Harvey Oswald, like letters to his wife or something from jail, like something like that.
Hey, there was a man on the grassy knoll. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh, my dad's watched that Zapruder film like 50,000 times. I have seen that, and there's a whole thing going with my family and my parents' friends that my dad they mimic my dad saying it was the driver all the time. This is a going gag, but something like that, like a letter or I don't know. I mean, there's so many historical things that are so much more interesting than this bullshit with.
But it's just weird how the murderers got killed all of a sudden. It's like
no, but the thing is that his wife, Lee Harvey Oswald's wife, did write a book. About him.
Well, and then they were like,
about how things were in the house before and after. Like the way that his mind was working, like maybe a few months before the assassination. Because he had promised her all this stuff, coming to America, and really, she was a slave to Lee Harvey Oswald in her own home.
Well, she's coming like post Red Scare from Russia, and they think he was like a defector and all this other stuff. So I mean, there's just so much interesting shit that her book would be interesting. I didn't know she wrote a book.
She wrote a book. It came out like in the 70s.
Wow,
I almost bought it because I found it at an antique shop for $15. And this is when I went on my vacation, like last month. I saw it and I put it down. I started to read the preface and I started to read it. And then I thought, nah, it's kind of torn. But I wish I would have gotten it because I would have read it. Instead, I'm stuck with Dean and Me. They have not even finished that yet.
Well, ultimately, the thing between like Harrison and Clapton there with a love triangle. If you really just want to, if you want a more entertaining version of that and pay maybe, I don't know, a premium fee to a streaming site, or just go on YouTube and listen for free, you can go check out Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, and that's like the ultimate love triangle shit right there.
That's true.
All right, let's get to two more BS stories. Let's get to one of my favorite artists of all time. I love John Mellencamp. But he again reminded fans he suffers from no fools during Sunday's concert in Toledo, Ohio, threatening to end the set early after calling out a cocksucker heckler. TikTok video shows Mellencamp's story behind an unseen audience member shouts it in a play some more music. The heckler is met from a chorus of boos before Mellencamp responds, "What do you think I'm doing? I've been doing, you cocksucker. Here's the thing, man. You don't know. You don't fucking know me. Hey, Joe, find this guy and let him see me after the show." Mellencamp then tries to continue the story, but he quickly interrupted by the heckler, who demands to hear the Authority song. "Guys, I can stop the show right now. Then you could just go home." He tells the crowd, "Tell you what I'm going to do. Since you've been so wonderful, I'm going to cut about 10 songs out of the show. Here we go." The rocker then plays a few seconds of Jack and Diane before announcing, "You know what? Show's over." But then he comes back out for an encore of "Rain on Scarecrow, Lonely All Night," Pete Houses. Newspaper also reported that Mellencamp said another interruptive audience should go back to kindergarten. What do you think about that, Chris?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Be more of a bitch, John Mellencamp. Are you kidding me right now? You're at a fucking rock show. Play your goddamn music and shut the fuck up. Like, or talk or argue with the guy or whatever. But like this just seems so like whiny to me. It seems so whiny to me. And then come see me after the show. All right, John Mellencamp. I would love for John Mellencamp to say that to me, and then have him come backstage and let his security go away, so I can beat his old ass all over the place and be like, and then I can tell that story. I can write a letter about it to his wife, and then that can go for $19,000 at Christie's. How about that? There you go.
Kate, what do you think about John?
Oh man, be a little professional. Come on. I know hecklers are like obnoxious as hell. Try doing comedy. Yeah, like try doing comedy and have people talking and heckling.
Exactly.
But it's like you have to be professional and you have to get over the fact it's gonna happen no matter what, no matter where you are and how long's his career. It's not like he's new. He's been a musician for how long? How many hecklers has he had? And he's like freaks out now.
Hold on, I'm sorry to interrupt, Kate, but does anybody see the fucking stupidity on this? That the guy wanted to hear the Authority song, and what did John Mellencamp do? He acts like the fucking Authority. What a bitch! What a hypocritical bitch! Oh
yeah,
my
that's
God.
So stupid.
What an asshole!
Maybe he's getting senile or something. Maybe he's just
he's just a crabby old asshole now.
Maybe he needs to retire.
He's always been an asshole.
You know his nickname is Little Bastard, right?
Mark, say your catchphrase. Get it off my lawn. That's another.
I was just about to say that. Hey, he says it more than I do. Damn, I would never do that. But I'm saying,
oh my God,
when he wrote the intro
to Authority always wins.
When he wrote,
he's the Authority. What a bitch.
When he wrote the Kenny Asinoff, his former drummer, wrote a book, and he wrote the foreword to it. He goes, "Well, you're a great drummer in my band, but you weren't as good as when you weren't in my band." Fuck, he played with fucking like a John Fogerty. Goddamn, what do you mean he's not as good? That Kenny Asinoff was one of the best drummers of all time in my head. Best studio musician. Him and the guy from Toto. Fucking Jeff Porcaro. Great fucking drummers. What do you think about that, Andy?
How many times have we all been to concerts? Hundreds of times, almost each of us. And we've heard people yell out songs that they don't want to hear.
How many times does some dumbass yell "Freebird" at every show? Like it's inevitable. It's inevitable.
Come on. I really think that Mellencamp didn't want to be there. I mean, he's already 110? I'm pretty sure he wants to get off that fucking stage. and use that as an excuse. But you know, he was just being a dick, just like we've known about him for a very, very long time. Um, you know, he still thinks it's the '80s, and he's got clout. You don't anymore. That clout sailed a long ass time ago for you.
But even if he
Long time
did,
ago.
but even if he did, like that type of whiny shit just doesn't
Yeah.
like there's a band recently called Royal Thunder. It's a duo from England, and they just pulled this kind of shit and it backfired on them. And what they did was way more punk and kind of badass than what Mellencamp did, or from what it sounds like. And still it backfired. They got labeled as a bunch of whiny bitches. Go out there and play your fucking music and shut the fuck up. Like if somebody heckles you, then you're louder than they are. You're at a rock show. Are you insane?
Yeah.
It's not like Kate was saying before about being a comedian. You have no choice. Like there comes a point where that's why when Bill
You
Burr
just
did
deal
what he
with
did,
it.
well, that's why when Bill Burr did what he did in Philly, and if none of you have seen this before, go ahead. But like in the early 2000s, Bill Burr was he became famous because he was on a tour with a radio show called Opie and Anthony, and it was a comedy show, and they were in Philly, and he said some kind of joke about how the Eagles or the Phillies or somebody sucks, and the crowd turned on him in the most vicious of ways and booed him so loud that he could barely be heard. Instead of leaving, which most comedians would do, he stood up there for 25 minutes, berated the audience. Like he didn't pull back and just do his bit. He went after those fuckers, and they wound up cheering for him at the end.
Philly wants you to throw it back in their face, and that's all
right.
the comics that I love. They say that's the best place to cut your teeth. That in Boston, because they're gonna freak out on you. If you don't have a spine, you're out. And then if you actually have a spine and can throw it back, they will love you forever. So and he earned that whole crowd's love and affection for the rest of his life.
Yeah, huge ass career.
Oh
just
my
based
God!
on that. Like,
he was arena tours, not just like regular comedy clubs. Arena.
Yeah,
it was thousands of people. It was huge. Go listen. Yeah, I mean, when you listen to it, if you go watch it online, there's no board version of it, so you hear a lot of the crowd, and you can't really make out a lot of what Bill Burr says, but you can hear when it all of a sudden it turns around. It's a point where all of a sudden he wins them over, and they're like, and it's legend. It's a legendary moment. It's a legendary comedic moment. It's incredible. And here's John Cougar Mellencamp with loud amplifiers. Shut the fuck up.
And doing that in the middle of nowhere. And Bill Burr doing in Philly.
Well, Philly is cutthroat, but I love that like Mellencamp walks off and then he comes back to play more. And it's like, you know, whoever was producing that show is like, hey, like if you want your money, you need to go finish this show because you have a contract for so much time. And he's like, oh, I guess I'll go back out there. Like, what?
I love John Cougar Mellencamp or John Mellencamp, whatever he is, Johnny Mellencamp, Johnny Cougar, whatever he was,
Hey, Cougar. Hey, do you think you're Axl Rose in his prime? Get the fuck back out there.
Hey, he's way better than Axl Rose to me. I like more John Cougar.
They both sound about the same nowadays.
No, but I'm saying on those old albums, I like more John Mellencamp or John Cougar or Johnny Cougar albums or songs way more than Guns N' Roses After Appetite.
And for the record, just to dump on John Mellencamp a little bit more, Kenny Aronoff, you were saying the name wrong, so I didn't know who the fuck you were talking about.
Aronoff, my bad.
He played with the Smashing Pumpkins, Bob Seger, Willie Nelson, John Fogerty, Joe Cocker, Michelle Branch, Tony Iommi, Melissa Etheridge, Jerry Lee Lewis, Leonard Skinner, Joe Satriani, Bon Jovi.
My band. I mean, you play with everybody.
Hey, don't forget about Chickenfoot.
The point that I'm making is that
the point you're making, this guy stinks.
Yeah, Kenny Aronoff. What the hell is that guy done? What has that guy done?
What do you think about John Mellencamp or Johnny Cougar or whatever, Jerry?
I like his music, but Jesus, I mean, so one guy's going to make you walk off stage with thousands of people, and that's a generous estimate. Bought tickets to fucking see you play, and you're just going to walk around of the show.
What kind of place was he at? An arena or
amphitheater?
Or...
He was
I'm sure it was like a small arena.
Probably a casino. Was he at a casino?
Ohio.
Yeah. He sold out 3 shows here at the Ryman, so he's still
at
drawing.
Like Firekeepers or something?
It was Toledo, Ohio. I don't know where. It didn't say the arena.
Probably Firekeepers or like one of the big casinos, I would guess. But Come on.
I think
Acting
John,
like a
all that
giant
fucking
baby.
5 packs of cigarettes you smoking, all that fucking tar has gone to your brain, dude. I mean,
Too many chili dogs.
I mean, he's always been an asshole. But
Punching
yeah,
it off.
Don't let this man.
yeah, don't
Tasty
fucking deal with the
freeze.
tasty freeze. Yeah,
I'm gonna slap that
But
chili
yeah,
dog right
you know.
out of your hands, Daddy.
it doesn't surprise me that he did that. To be honest with you, so
The like 70 something dudes that were rockers and hot shit, and then they're old and now they're still a divas.
well, he gets to go home.
Well,
gets to
he
go home
wasn't
to
a
Meg.
70s guy. He was basically
No,
in
I'm
the
saying
80s.
he is
He gets to-
70
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
mean,
get it.
He's married to Meg Ryan. I mean, how bad is his life? I mean,
John
come on, dude.
Mellencamp is married to Meg Ryan.
Yes, they've been together
Oh,
for a
she's
long
ugly
time
now, so
For
enjoy
like
her.
over 15 years, maybe.
Yeah,
Too
they've
much-
been on for a while now. Yeah.
Too much plastic surgery on Meg Ryan, man.
But Mellencamp's first album did come out in the 70s.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Cougar?
Yeah, I got
I think he was John
I
Cougar.
got
And
two
then,
albums from him from the 70s.
Oh, but his
Down there.
hits were in the 80s, though.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
he started off in the 70s, the late 70s.
I love Rain on the Scarecrow. That's a fucking great song.
Oh shit, man, we gotta get the show going because I gotta get up early in the morning.
All right, man. Let's get to one last story. Bon Jovi's new video
What
for
do you do
Legendary
next?
hit 1 billion views. I think it's cool. I like John. He had vocal surgery. That's why he sucked on the last tour. He doesn't know if he's going to tour on this album because he's still healing his vocal cords, unlike Paul Stanley. I'm just going to say that. We could get to what we're doing now, Jerry. Unless you guys want to comment on it.
I didn't know that Bon Jovi made a video after Wanted Dead or Alive.
Are we talking about the Legendary video?
Yeah.
Yeah, the song is not that bad. I was expecting it to
Didn't
be
even know.
horrendous.
Like 2020 was. 2020 was horrible.
Oh, everything he's done for quite some time.
Well, I
has been
like This
horrible.
House Is Not For Sale. That was a great, great
Of
album.
course you do.
I didn't like 2020 though. That was horrible.
I mean, if I'm being fair, I've lost touch with Bon Jovi since These Days. That's the last album I liked.
That's a great album though.
It's a phenomenal album, but since
Hey
then,
God, fucking rules.
yeah,
After New Jersey, I lost it.
Ooh,
they've just
you should
gotten
listen to These
too-
Days, Andy.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're
Is there
so
a reason
grumpy.
why, Andy?
I
Wait,
listen
I'm
to
curious. Hold on. Andy, so why? I'm just curious.
I listen to shit I don't like. I
Okay.
listen to King Diamond. I listen to Merciful Fate. I listen to
Well, hold-
Slayer.
But you don't
Wait.
like it.
Wait,
I
did you
don't like
just
it, but I
say-
listen to it to see
Why?
if I didn't
What
like
the
it.
fuck? Why would you do that?
I'm sorry.
I want
I
to
don't
see.
know.
I wanted to see if I
Like.
didn't like it.
Mark, listen. You know how much I love Slayer, right?
Yeah.
You know how much I love Slayer, right?
I listen
yeah.
to Ghost. I didn't like
To me-
Ghost either.
To me, Slayer is the most overrated shit band in the history of music.
But I'm saying I listened to
Wait,
them
hold on.
even though I know I
Hold
didn't think
on.
I'd like it.
Right. So you mean you listen to it once, right? Like you don't.
No, I
put
listened
it
to
on...
it multiple times
Why the fuck would you do that?
because
to
I
me?
wanted to make sure I didn't like it.
Right. I listen to everything 3 times. That's
Yeah,
my
me
standard
too.
Right. I listen to everything 3
Yeah,
times.
me too.
And if by the time if I'm into the 3rd one and I still don't like any of it, I don't finish. I just don't even bother. Like it's just whatever.
Oh,
So with that being said, I'm
Mhm.
asking Andy because I'm wondering, like, so you listen to New Jersey and you
Yeah.
like that album, right? Or
Oh
no?
yeah, of course.
Okay, so then after that was Keep the Faith. You didn't listen to Keep the Faith?
I've got Keep the Faith, but I really never really heard. I've got to hear, but after that, I just lost interest.
So God, that's so weird to me. How do you
I
just
just lost
and
interest.
I'm not criticizing. I'm trying to figure
yeah,
out
I
your
know.
process. So
Yeah.
like you like the New Jersey album.
Yeah,
Keep the
and
Faith
then
comes
Jack
out,
Bon
you
Jovi
buy
was
it,
my
but you don't
first
listen
concert.
to it.
I think Keep the Faith is a better album than New Jersey. That's just me.
I agree, but my point, what I'm trying to figure out is how do you just lose interest in what's next? Do you think like New Jersey's the most complete Bon Jovi album you had heard to that point?
No,
You're like, well,
no,
there's no point.
I just lost interest. I just wasn't interested in Bon Jovi anymore.
I mean, that's
I
fine.
just-
Fascinating.
I just dropped it.
So now, do you still listen to New Jersey and Slippery When Wet and 78?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well,
so you didn't lose complete interest. You just lost
I just
interest in
didn't wanna go
learning something
farther.
new.
Keep
Yeah,
the
you-
Faith, Bounce, great
That's
albums,
so
man.
that's so no, I disagree with
I
you.
like
but
Bounce. Bounce rules.
Of course you do.
You see, you see Bon Jovi-
Undivided. Come on.
Mark is the everything is great guy.
No,
You
I'm
see-
not. I hate Blink 182. There you go. All right.
But
Anyway.
Bon Jovi was my very first concert when I was in the
Nice.
5th grade. I want to go see the Slippery When Wet tour.
Andy, I want to explore this further another time. I want to explore this further another time because I find this and I don't mean this in a derogatory way in any way, shape, or form. I find it fascinating that you can just lose interest in a band, in an artist, without any reason. It's not like you heard Keep the Faith and you're like, this is shit, I'm over this band. You were just like, nah.
Bed of Roses is a fucking amazing song.
That's like
Bed of Roses is an amazing song. Really.
That's on Keep the Faith. So is Keep the Faith is a great song too.
There's a lot of better songs on Keep the Faith.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Chris.
Just come to me when you.
I'm just giving him songs that he probably know. But Jerry, let's start this, man. Let's start our countdown.
I'm gonna let Chris explain what the show is about real quick. Go ahead and give us a.
All right, so I threw it out to the audience. To the group here because I, as an avid music fan, since I'm roughly a zygote, always wanted to do. And I am a musician in and of, for me, I play a little bit of drums. I have a drum set floating around back there and I have my bass right here. So like I play and I'm a singer first, but I only excel at singing. I was never confident enough in any other instrument to go out in front of people and be like, this is what I do. I learned these other things to learn how to write music, and that's pretty much it. So with that in mind, I often will listen to a song and go, wow, it's fucking dope, man. I wish I could play guitar like that, or I wish I could play bass like that, or whatever. And that's the topic. The topic is if you could pick 10 or 11 songs, in this case, 11 songs that if you could go up in front of people and go, look what I can do.
Yeah.
These would be the songs that would exemplify or showcase that ability. And there you go.
All right. Well, let's see. Ladies first here. Kate, what's your first one?
So obviously Beatles are one of my favorite bands of all time. And I didn't want to directly pick a Beatles song because there's so many incredible covers that do them justice. I went with Stevie Wonder. We Can Work It Out. I think all the instrumental work on this is incredible. Obviously, Stevie's voice. Come on. See this at a concert. Holy crap, that would be amazing. And to be able to be one of the people on stage, either be him or be with him.
Yeah.
This is a barn burner. The whole crowd's going to go wild when he does this. Like, it's just a great, my whole list, like, for me to pick 11 songs is almost impossible to narrow it down. So these are songs that were in the front of my brain that I've heard recently, basically. But I'm like, God dang, like this is such a good song. So
I honestly just did the same thing.
It's like stuff that was in the front of my mind. The other thing that I looked at Dark Lord Spotify was my Spotify on repeat, because they'll make you a playlist of songs that you listen to a lot. And that's like, all right, yeah, like these are all amazing. I got to pick a couple things off of this. So that's mine.
Cool. All right, Chris.
My first one, I said I was going to stay away from vocals, and I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 vocal. No, I have 3 vocal songs. Yes, 3 vocal. And the first one is right here. It's off the album Escape, but specifically it's from the Houston concert Journey.
I love that.
And it's the song Mother Father. As good a singer as I am, and I'm damn good. I'm humble about it, but I'm very good. I cannot sing that song to completion. It's just too fucking hard from cover to cover. That song is impossible, and I've always wanted to be able to sing that song. And it's not even a high range thing because I can hit the notes. It's just he lives there the whole song. It is, and it's dramatic, and that is a bring the house down type of song. So Mother, Father, Journey. Wish I could sing that shit. Wish I could be Steve Perry. I'm not. I can't, and that's my wish.
That sucks. I didn't pick a Steve Perry song. Fuck, dude. That song fucking live at
this
Houston,
one
fucking great.
This one is one where we could have all had like a 45 song list.
I know. There's so many singers I love.
All right, Andy, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the type of guy that really loves a duet.
Ooh.
So I've always pictured myself singing with Jennifer Nettles, Who Says You Can't Go Home. off of Bon Jovi's. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna start off with.
Oh, Andy, you're my favorite human now, dude. That was great. I love it.
I'm glad I'm somebody's favorite human.
Oh, you are, man. You are. You're top 5, dude. Top 5.
Oh, now I'm top 5.
Well, you know, I have 6 kids, so you
Yeah, I was gonna
one of my kids.
Yes, human children.
I have 6 of them and a wife. So you've beaten
I
out
gotta
at
be
least 2
top 10
important people.
somewhere.
That's right. You've beaten out at least 2 important people.
No, but I am gonna stay with what I said about a duet. You know, with his gray beard, I could be Michael McDonald with Patti LaBelle singing On My Own. I love that song. I've always loved that song. I'm not too sure if y'all are familiar with it.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was
I know the song.
I know,
from the early 80s. It's really cool because the couple's going through a breakup and they each tell each other's side. Back when duets were real duets. Now it's just, I don't know what a duet is these days, but man, I wish I was just Michael McDonald answering back what Patti LaBelle was saying to him, and they were just answering each other back. And I always pictured someone, another person being Patti LaBelle and answering back. So I've always loved that song. It's such a powerful track. And I'm going to go see Michael McDonald with Doobie Brothers. My first time seeing Michael McDonald. So I'm going to be excited about that. And Steve Winwood's opening.
Oh, I fucking love Steve Winwood. I just posted a Blind Faith video by them.
Yeah, I was gonna say Steve Winwood's one of those artists that I really don't like his solo stuff, but my God, his stuff with Spencer Davis and his stuff with
Roll
Blind
with
Faith
it.
I can't stand that shit. But the only thing I have to say about Michael McDonald is if I hear Yamo Be There one more time, I'm gonna Yamo burn this place to the ground.
All right, anybody? 50-year-old virgin.
Anybody?
I know that line.
Yes, I know that too. But I'm excited to go see that. But that's my pick. That's my number 11. That's is awesome, On My Own with Patti LaBelle and Andy Rodriguez.
All right, Mark. I would pay for that, by the way. I'd pay for that show.
Absolutely pay.
If you know me, I love Tom Petty. I love Mike Campbell, but I went for Tom Petty's vocals on this one. I won't back down. I would love to sing that fucking song. It's just fucking great. I could have picked Night Watchman also by Tom Petty. God damn. It's the message of the song and what Tom Petty is fucking saying. Fuck all you fuckers. I ain't gonna back down, you bitches.
Yeah.
Fucking
that's it.
The fucking just I won't back down. I would love to sing the vocals just to get the message to all my haters out there.
You know, I thought about a Tom Petty song. I did not want, but I did not put it on here. But I would have gone with "Room at the Top."
Oh, it's a great one too. I got a room at the top of the world tonight. Off of Echo. That album fucking rules, dude.
Yes, off of Echo, and it starts off the album. They start off with the album. It's
that
badass.
Song rules. I posted a lot on Freeform.
Yeah, you did. That's a great song.
All right, I guess it's my turn. Marcus, you just want Tom Petty, right?
I already went Tom Petty 11.
All right. I am not a bass player. I do know how to play a little bit of the bass, but I would love to get on stage and fucking jam Cliff's Anesthesia Pulling Teeth solo, man.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
I would freaking just love that, dude.
Call,
I mean,
brother.
that would be heaven, Nirvana, man. That would be so fucking incredible to be able to play that solo live in front of a bunch of people, man. Love you, Cliff, man. You're one of the best, dude. So that's my first pick. All right, Kate, your second one.
It's on me again. So I adored Roy Orbison, but this is gonna be Blue Bayou by Linda Ronstadt.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Her voice in this, and I love the lyrics to this song. I think this is just absolutely enchanting. But Roy's is great. Harry Dean Stanton, out of all people, I love his cover, but it's Linda Ronstadt's song, man. That if I was in any mood to cry, that could just turn me on a dime. Like, that is so stunning. She, and of course, obviously, like everything, she's just such an incredible talent. But that Blue Bayou version of hers, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful tune.
Was that her first foray going into the countryside?
I feel like she's dabbling in that because the what album is that off of? I have it. I can't think of the name. It's the one where she's like looking in the vanity.
President.
I can't.
President.
That like and her dabbling into country, and then it's great, and that leads into her doing like Canconos de Mi Padre. That like incredible.
Oh yes, I got that on CD and cassette.
I have both her greatest hits on vinyl. That's all I
both
really
those
have.
are good. Yeah,
I have such
I think I told you the story. My grandpa used to play Canciones de Mi Padre, and my mom went to go see that tour. Well,
I have such a thing with Linda Ronstadt that I don't understand. I'm weird with fandom as a whole. I will never call myself a fan of something unless I'm like sure. Like Foo Fighters is my favorite example. I love like almost everything I've ever heard from Foo Fighters. I've seen them in concert 4 times.
They're great.
I still will not call myself a Foo Fighters fan though.
I'm not gonna like buy a Foo Fighters shirt, but I've seen them a few times and I love them.
I love them.
I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan. I'll buy it.
That's how I am with Linda Ronstadt. Literally everything I've ever heard from her. I'm like, I love.
She's incredible.
I don't love her country stuff, but like I love her voice.
Oh
so
man,
much.
listen to that Blue Bayou.
Oh, it's amazing.
Didn't she do an album with like 2 country stars?
Yeah, the trio. With Dolly Parton.
It's her and Dolly and
is it Emmylou Harris?
Emmylou Harris.
Yeah.
Because that was the other one I almost wanted to say that to know him is to love him. Because their version of that, when they do that, all 3 of them together, that was almost my pick. But Blue Bayou, like this is one of my most listened to songs that I like. It's a comfort song for me. So like if you could go up there and pull off her vocals to do this.
Blue.
Oh, it's stunning.
And she was stunning to look at.
Stunning. And her personality, and she's like a good human too, not just
solid.
That's like speaking of trio and Dolly Parton and being like an incredible human and amazing talent. Like
if you ever want to listen to something interesting or whatever, I don't know if any of you have Sirius Satellite Radio, but or you could probably pick it up on YouTube somewhere. But Dolly Parton was just on with Howard Stern like maybe a few weeks ago.
And that'd be a trip.
She did like 2 hours, and it was so good. Like she's such
I'll have to go back and look at it.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
Talking about her whole career and the whole thing with what's his name, Porter, what's his face, and
Wagner.
Porter Wagner.
Yeah. We just talked about this on the other.
Just incredible. Yeah. Like everything, and the fact that she basically got the Beatles back together to do, Let It Be on her latest album. She got Ringo and Paul McCartney to be on it, and then she got Pete Frampton to play guitar.
I don't even think I picked a Beatles song on here. That sucks.
She's so incredible. Like what a businesswoman. Like how you were saying Joe Rogan's business sense. Like Dolly's business sense.
Oh hell yeah!
And I was just talking about this on our 3 shots. Like I haven't posted it yet. I got to finish editing it, but absolutely genius. I'll get to that actually. It's like a little precursor to what I'm going to talk about.
So then let's wait. That sounds good.
But go ahead. Jerry? Go ahead.
And in fact, the trio really does a really good cover of Neil Young's After the Gold Rush.
Oh man, that trio, they have a couple of those, and they're just
Oh, so all right, good. Chris, you're next, buddy.
Nope. I think Andy's next. No,
Andy's
next.
You're
Kate
next.
was first. That's right.
You are.
Kate was first.
Yeah, I did Blue Bayou.
This time I'm switching instruments, and I'm going to the bass right here, this bad boy. And I had to mention my favorite band of all time. If I'm holding a bass, I'm definitely thinking of 2 people. It's either Les Claypool or Geddy Lee from Rush. And the one favorite riff that I've ever heard from Rush is from La Villa Strangiato. That fucking ripping bass solo in the middle of that song. If I could play that song live or anywhere, just in my studio right here, I would die if I could rip that off. That would be amazing. So La Villa Strangiato from the album Hemispheres. Rush bass is my goal there.
I left Rush off there, except for I got Geddy Lee off but I got the other 2.
All right, Andy, I guess you're next, man.
Yeah, my last one was Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald. Now, that's my next one. I'm going to go into Black Sabbath.
Ooh.
Now, which performer or musician am I going to pick? Well, I'm going to pick the song Supernaut by Bill Ward. being the drummer in Supernaut. That drums, I would have a hard time playing it probably, but just imagine playing Supernaut on the drums and just going nuts on it and pretty much playing heavy jazz metal on the drum kit. That's Bill Ward quite a bit, but Supernaut is my favorite Bill Ward performance. So that would be my number 10 pick.
All right, Mark.
Okay, I cheated on this one because the guy sings and plays guitar at the same time.
Nothing
Oh, I
wrong
got
with
a couple of those too.
That's
It's
okay. That's okay.
one of my
Nothing wrong with
favorite
that.
fucking songs by this band. One of my favorite guitar players, one of my favorite singers in this band. It says, man, I'm moving through some changes. I'll never be the same. Change your places. Root yourself to the ground. You
Go
fucking
Trevor Rabin. For
Trevor Rabin. The guitar and the vocals on that song cannot be divided. The guy is a fucking genius.
Absolutely.
I fucking love that song. I sing it in the car every time it comes on. And I sing Trevor's parts, not John's. I like Trevor's parts the best. It's more fucking, I don't know. I love John Anderson, but Trevor is just ear candy to me. I love the motherfucker. That's my changes by Yes, guitar and vocals by Trevor Rabin.
Zero argument from me there. And as far as the combination thing goes, that goes without saying because I can sing and I can play guitar, but I cannot do both. So that's the thing.
Trevor, dude. God damn.
All right, so it's my turn. I'm going to switch to the drums now. And only if I can do The Song Remains, the same version of it. If I can do the drum solo of Moby Dick by John Bonham on fucking The Song Remains the Same. Damn, man. What an incredible 17 and a half minutes of just pure drum bliss. And it's hard to say the word drum bliss, but man, John Bonham. I mean, Bonham, I know you guys say Neil Peart. And I know I'm saying his name wrong. Neil Peart, but John Bonham is miles away more influential than Neil Peart is, in my opinion, dude. So,
oh my God, that's a bad statement. That's a bad
no, it's not true,
brother.
Okay, in rock and metal, definitely Bonham, dude.
Well, I agree with you, Jerry.
No.
Nothing wrong. Neil Peart's awesome. Neil Peart's awesome.
Well, I agree with you, Jerry, because John Bonham was a drummer. Neil Peart is a percussionist. There you go.
You ask people.
Flag on the field.
No flag. No. This is my turn.
I'm gonna pick up that flag.
Yeah, pick up that flag. Yeah.
It's words for Kate. Real good, guys.
I'm super specific. It's a word choice. Miles ahead. Okay, I'll give Bonham because he.
You didn't hear me. I said rock and metal.
It doesn't matter.
I said percussionist, so I gave you that.
Well, there you go. So Mark said percussionist. So
Mark is just dealing in semantics. I can't deal with that. That's bullshit.
Well, Neil played everything.
But no, I got nothing against Neil Peart. But
of course,
to me, going up there and playing that solo on stage with John Bonham, man, would fucking just rule, dude, playing that solo.
You just have a bad take about him. You don't have a problem with him.
I agree with Chris on that
one. I'm pulling your leg, Jerry. I can't get into a thing because first off, there is no such metric that can measure who is better than the other, or whatever. I can buy the most influential because Bonham did it first. He was there first, and he was there, and I can argue. I know that Neil Peart was influenced by John Bonham, so that's fair. So there you go.
But I'm saying rock and heavy metal.
You said Miles.
And rock and heavy metal. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, but have you heard Neil do freaking metal?
What
is 2112? Chop liver?
What's wrong with that?
2112's chop liver?
God.
What is Fly By Night? Chop liver by Tour.
All right. Hey,
that's
Kate,
metal, bitch.
Third one.
That's metal.
Kate, your next one.
Dude, he just said that he likes Bonham more than Peart.
Oh, that's fine, but he said that Neil didn't play metal. Neil did play metal.
All right, Kate, your next one before we get into a civil war here.
What he meant were two different things, I guess.
I want to keep listening to this argument.
Okay. Well,
it's like arguing politics.
I'm just saying, Neil
it's arguing politics. Nobody's going to change their mind. So
I like
have you heard Headlong Flight from the last album? That was fucking metal as fuck. Okay, go ahead.
I like chaos like that. So my next one,
Cone of silence. All right, go ahead.
cone heads,
You got to follow this one, Kate. You got to
dunce
follow this one.
cone.
No, cone of silence from Get Smart. There you go.
I'm not gonna fight anyone. My next one would be Feeling Good, Nina Simone's version.
Hell yeah.
Her voice on this, the sax, the clarinet, the trumpet on this, like any part of this. A lot of mine are going to be singers, which I do have a couple that I'm specific about instruments, but this is just one of those compositions that I'm like, I love this all around, and it's not just one thing. But this the songs written by English composers, I had to look up their names because I didn't know. It's Anthony Newley and Leslie Bricuse, which I like to give credit to people. They wrote this in 64. Nina Simone does this in 65, and it is just such a stunning, amazing song. Her version is, there's tons and tons of versions, like Michael Bublé, like a new guy, you know, not new guy, but recent, huge song for him, huge hit song for him. And it's like, I don't think anybody beats Nina Simone's version. I just can't. I don't know, but
It's phenomenal.
Oh, such a good version of this.
All right, Chris, your next one.
All right, so now I've done singing, I've done bass, and now on to guitar. And the most current guitar god, probably, I would say current, let me see. I mean, he's been around 20, 30 years. I can't think of anybody else who's come out new that's been more, I don't know, hailed and revered as John Petrucci from Dream Theater. And my favorite guitar solo from any of those albums goes all the way back to the Images and Words, which is technically their second album. The song called Under a Glass Moon, or as James Labrie would say, Under a Glass Moon.
Great song.
And yeah, the guitar solo is, I love it so much that I can air guitar the shit out of it, but note for note, but I can't play it. I've tried. I don't even know where to start. So Under a Glass Moon.
That's a great freaking album, dude. Still my favorite Dream Theater album.
It's not my favorite album, but that's one of my favorite songs.
Mine is Train of Thought and Black Clouds and Images, whatever that is. Black Clouds and
dude, just because of the impact. I remember waking up, going to work, and seeing that video for "Pull Me Under" on MTV, and I'm just like, was it fucking blown away by how great it was.
Wake was a great album too.
Yeah. Wake is my favorite Dream Theater album, but
Wake rules.
Pull Me Under changed the trajectory of everything that I liked at that point.
Yeah,
that's their one hit, and the rest misses.
I was into Rush. They were my favorite band at the time, and then Dream Theater took Rush and like stepped it up, and I was like, what is that? Like, that is like crazy. So yeah. Now they've, you know, as a whole, they don't. I guess they would probably rank in my top 10 bands. My 2 through 10 change. No, my 3 through 10 change. Depends what day it is and how the wind is blowing. But 1 and 2 are solid. 3 to 10 change, and I think Dream Theater falls in that 3 to 10 almost consistently, almost all the time. So unless they piss me off, the only band I love to hate more than Dream Theater is Kiss. So they. And that's my second favorite band in the world. So there you go.
All right, Andy, what you got next, man?
Yeah, my next one's going to be a band that I've been getting into lately. They've been around since the early 2000s. I've seen them at least 4 or 5 times now. But I'm going to go with the band Dawes, Dawes, and a live cut off of their "We're All Gonna Live." The song "Somewhere Along the Way." They play it live. They stretch a 4-minute song into a 12-minute song. Just and I would be the singer and guitarist. That's the way they do it. The lead singer plays the lead guitar. And it's just a great song, and the way that they stretch out the interplay of the guitars on it. And it's one of my favorite songs by them. It's off their it's off their 4th album. All of Your Favorite Bands is the name of the album it's off of. They're going to be releasing their 9th here coming up soon. So Somewhere Along the Way by the band Dawes.
Dawes, Dawes.
I'm not sure if I know.
They're
who that is.
great. They're a great folk band. I love
Oh,
them.
folk. Yeah, that's why I don't know.
Alt
that is.
folk.
Yeah, they're good though. I made the guys do a show on. It's a super group, so it's guys from Dawes, Deer Tick, and Delta Spirit, and it's called Middle Brother. They only have a one-off record, but even these guys dug it. They're
pretty good. I gotta admit, it was.
You guys should
Can
check
I-
out the.
Love them.
You guys should check out the Gracious Few from Candlebox and Live. That's a great
All right,
album.
can I ask a question real quick
Yeah.
then of you? Since Kate, you just brought out, you said supergroup,
Yes,
and then you mentioned a bunch of bands that I'd never heard before.
they're
Right.
all great. Like,
But it's I'm sure they're great. But is that still considered a supergroup if none of those bands are like super in the sense of like
super
popularity?
in my world.
That's why
No,
I said
it's like
No, I'm not
Live
nailing
and
on you. The
Candlebox.
reason- no,
that's right.
I'm not nailing on you
Yeah.
because the reason why
no,
I
no, no. I
asked-
know it's. I guess it's like a. What else would you call it?
All Star. All
It's a
Star.
Oh well,
just
it's a
feel-
super group
I
in
think-
their genre.
damn,
they're
exactly.
folk.
damn Yankees and Derek and the Dominoes and
Yeah.
Blind Faith were
those are
super
super
groups.
groups, exactly.
Yeah.
Or
That's
like them,
super groups.
or like them Crooked
Yeah.
Vultures with like Dave Grohl and John Paul.
Did they see
Jones
what the
and-
name of this one with the? We just shared that one with like Adrian Ballou and Danny Carey. Did they see what the name of that group's gonna be?
Oh, I
Beat.
forgot. Hold on.
BEAT.
What is
Are
Beat?
they making
And
new
it's-
music or
Beats.
just
They're
playing old
playing.
music?
They're just
playing
playing
King
King Crimson stuff.
Oh yeah,
I
they're
think
That
they're
playing.
sounds cool.
And I think they're playing a specific album, right, or something, or a
Yeah,
specific two album
the
stretch.
first of the first three albums from the '80s, the ones that Adrian Ballou were
Yeah, okay.
were in, and
Yeah.
also
gonna be
Robert
awesome.
Fripp is
It's
behind
gonna
it
be good.
It's gonna be
It's
awesome.
gonna be
as
good.
well. So it's
So-
not like they're doing this on their own.
My other question to call it a supergroup: how many different bands does it have to be an amalgam of?
Yeah, that's interesting too because like
Is
Audio
it-
Slave is Audio Slave a supergroup or is it just
Three?
Rage Against the
Is
Machine
it
with Chris
two?
Cornell?
Well, is Alter Bridge a super group? Because all they did was
Alter
change the singer.
Bridge,
Yeah.
or yeah, if you have like
I think it's
Because
just a different group.
Well, because the reason why I asked is because there's a band, a metal band, a prog rock metal band that I listen to called Good Tiger, which has guys from Tesseract and The Safety Fire and At the Gates, all bands that you've probably never heard of before.
I've heard of At the Gates, but
Right.
not Tesseract or the other.
Right,
one.
that's what I'm saying. So, like, is
Yeah.
that a super group? I don't think so. But
Well,
then
damn,
there's
in their in their
They all
genre.
sold millions.
Their genre. You see, it's like the band that she was talking about, Middle Brother. They are the lead singers of their
Yeah.
respective
Yeah.
bands.
So then you
And-
you're,
And the band's Dawes, Deer Tick, and what was the other third one? I forgot.
That one's Delta Spirit, which I don't
Delta
listen to as
Spirit.
much, but Dawes, when you bring up Dawes, I'm like, man, Dawes is so good. Matthew Vasquez is like,
But they're
Great
kind of the
vocal.
leaders of that Americana country alternative
mhm.
okay.
movement.
Well, I don't particularly care for folk, but since you
Yeah.
guys preach about it so highly, I will check out this Dawes. for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
I-
it
oh,
has
yeah,
Alter
I am
Bridge in
intrigued.
it.
Some stuff.
Very good.
I am
All right,
intrigued
Mark,
for
it's
sure.
your pick, man.
Oh, where am I at? I'm picking a lot of vocals on there, even though I'm a huge drum fan. Because I like vocals because a group will make it or break it with me with the vocals. I can listen to a death metal group and I can hear the like great rhythm and it comes in. I love the harmonies, I love the vocals. I gotta go with Chris Cornell. On Soundgarden, I fell on Black Days.
Yeah, good to you.
The highs, the lows that
I can
guy
actually
does.
sing that song.
The highs and the lows that he does on this song, he doesn't sing straight. He never
It
does.
doesn't.
And
He
it's
sings with
I
emotion.
like the highs and lows that he does. The lyrics are amazing, but the vocals are just like it's like so slow. And it goes, "How will I know?" You know, he's singing really low, and then he goes in the chorus. This'll be my fate. It's like that's my song, man. Number 9.
One of the best singers of all time.
Fuck yeah! Except for the album Scream. That album sucked. Go ahead.
That was experimental album.
Oh, I hated it. I did get it,
Which
but
one?
I hated it.
What
Scream.
Scream.
He didn't even like it after. So there you go.
It was a very odd album.
Yeah, it was hip
All
hop.
right. All right, my next pick is I actually saw a live version of this where Bob Seger actually did this song with was it Jason Aldean or Chris Stapleton, one of the two. They did it as a duet. And I would have fucking loved to have sung this song with Bob Seger as a duet, Against the Wind. Man, I would fucking love to sing that song with him live on stage, man. I mean, just an incredible tune. It's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite Bob Seger song, and just be able, like I said, to even attempt to sit next to Bob Seger and sing a duet with him with that would be a fucking awesome experience, man. So that's my next one.
I just wanted to say Against the Wind was on my list, but I'll go ahead and I'll say why right now. When I was in high school, there was
dog attack.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, there was this girl that I really liked, and I called her, and I used to write poetry, so I wrote her a poem. So I read her a poem over the phone, and she was, "Oh, that's such a beautiful poem," but really, it was Against the Wind lyrics.
Seems like yesterday, but it was long ago.
Was this the same? Was this the same woman? Was this the same woman that you dedicated 2 out of 3 ain't bad to? Boy, you have some bad luck with this shit, brother.
Yeah, you see, they're gone, but the songs stick with me.
Yeah, it's music is forever, baby. That's right.
Music is forever.
All right, Kate. All right, Kate, you're next.
All right. You were all done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm sorry, Jerry.
No, you were fine. I just wanted to make sure Jerry was done. You're good. You're gonna get to it too. Don't worry. My next one. So I moved this one. I don't really have them in order anyway, but because we talked about Cornell and we're talking about supergroups, I have Hunger Strike, Temple of the Dog.
Good one.
I mean, come on.
Who would you rather be, though?
I could have done Reach Down off that album. Oh, fucking
Would you rather be Eddie Vedder or Chris
I don't
Cornell?
mind stealing bread.
No, I would have picked Reach Down on that album. Goddamn.
Probably do Cornell, but I feel like if you ever watch that PJ20 documentary where they're talking about Vedder in this, and they're like, oh, he can sing his ass off. Like, he didn't get credit about how much he could sing or how well he could sing. And they talk about that in that documentary, but either one, like, obviously my voice is higher, so I'd probably pick Cornell if I picked one of them to sing as, but Vedder's voice is stunning. And then, like, all the instrumentals on this are ridiculous. The music video is amazing. Like,
great song. The
lyrics, everything about this song I love. So that's just one that, when Mark mentioned that I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do a Cornell song. And that's why I was like, what comprises a supergroup? Because is it 2 huge bands at the time? Does that count? But
well, those bands weren't even together at the time. It was only Soundgarden. Pearl Jam wasn't together yet.
But yeah, and the thing about that is that that was almost like a collective Temple of the Dog. Like, it was
right.
They all kind of lived in a house
it's just
together.
like, this is a project. Like, this is, and it worked out for him. It's a excellent album, and it's just one of those things of like, nothing much else came of that, obviously, but it's like Hunger Strike, I feel like such a huge hit too, that ended up that you still hear it a ton. If you like, I don't really listen to the radio, but it'll be played on the radio and different stuff. Like, it's a huge hit for them for just being like a pet project almost, I guess. But
I would have picked. Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, so is this whole album, Temple of the Dog, is it all dedicated to Andrew?
No,
from Mother Love Bone?
I think it is a little bit, but
because that's why they got together on this one-off. It's for in memory of him.
I don't think Reach Down was. They were talking about singing to a crowd, bringing them up,
To mean every song. Okay.
Not every song was about Andrew.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying about him. I'm just saying that this project,
like a dedication.
Dedication.
Yeah.
It wasn't about him. No, it was a dedication for him. Well, like a send-off by his friends.
Temple of the Dog was an American rock band formed in Seattle, Washington in 1990. It was conceived by vocalist Chris Cornell of Soundgarden as a tribute to his friend, the late Andrew Wood.
Yeah.
And if I was picking a song from this group, which is a great, Hunger Strike is perfect. It's a wonderful song.
It's a hell of a tribute.
I would have picked Say Hello to Heaven, because that song makes
me
it's
a great song. There's not a bad song on that album.
And I would have picked Miles, and I would have picked the Miles Kennedy version that I saw live and in person at
that would have been crazy. That would have been ridiculous.
It was the weekend that Chris Cornell died. I was supposed to interview Chris Cornell that weekend because I had media passes. So I was interviewing a bunch of other artists. And I saw Miles. I've never seen so many grown men weep in my fucking life than when Miles Kennedy did that during the Alter Bridge set. It was insane. It was insane. So,
I was in Philadelphia when he passed on vacation. I was in Philadelphia.
I was in my, so I worked for a news station. So I was in the newsroom at 5 a.m. when it came across the AP wire that he had died after a show the night before. That was like on
He was in
the
Detroit, and we didn't go to the show because we were broke ass stupid idiots.
Didn't a Pretty Reckless open for them, and that the Taylor Momsen went into a depression after that when he died.
There's some
yeah.
I mean, there are some regrets around concerts. That has to be one of them.
That's a huge one.
I had
though I had a thing I've talked about this a bunch because I love Cornell, and I'm like, if I was there and then he did that, I think that would have flipped me out way worse than it just being in Detroit. Because
interesting, yeah, I could see that.
I think being like in a crowd and it's like, oh, if you could have cheered enough, if you could have been that one person that he made eye contact with, or it's bad enough it was in Detroit and I already like have a lot of emotion involved around it, but I think if I was there, I would have really been. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I have something similar with Dimebag Darrell from Pantera.
Oh my god!
I was supposed to go to that show, the Damage Plan show that he was killed at, because it was only like an hour or so away from where I live, but it snowed in my area that night. So I didn't go. Like it was snowing actively. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to try. You know, it was across the state line into Ohio. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to go. Fuck it. I'll see them when they come back around. I'm glad I didn't go. That would have been traumatizing as fuck.
Could you ever like forget that? You would have the worst PTSD. You couldn't. Yikes. Yeah. That would have changed your trajectory in life. But we derailed. But yeah, that would have really.
All right. Sorry, guys. We gotta get this thing moving. I gotta get up in the morning. It's already 10 here, so we got a lot of stuff to cover here.
All right.
Chris, sorry, I don't mean to be a douchebag, but
you gotta get up.
Jerry Soupe is now Jerry Douchebag. All right, here we go.
Whatever.
Jerry Douchey.
I'm glad you're controlling the show. Thank you, brother.
It's the burden that I must carry. So
I'm not the dick anymore. There you go.
It's funny that
Kate, work in the morning.
It's funny that for my next one, it's funny that Kate mentioned like, you know, hunger strike, and she was like, well, since I'm a higher voice, I would pick the Cornell. For me, this next one, I pick an entire musical. The show is called The Last 5 Years, and it never made Broadway, but it did get made into a movie which starred Anna Kendrick. And I would love to be the character of Kathy, played specifically by Sherry Renee Scott, on the off-Broadway version, because it is so wickedly dramatic and wonderfully melodic. It's written by a composer named Jason Robert Brown, who writes probably the best musicals I've heard since. He's a newer guy, and he's fantastic. And the show's great. It's only 2 people. The whole show is only 2 people, and it's basically telling the same story, just they're both starting in different places. So the female part starts at the end of the relationship, and the male part starts at the beginning, and it's the last 5 years, and it goes through the 5 years, and they converge, and it's really cool. But anyway, the melodies, the drama, the emotions, it's just so fucking great. And I've always, if I could ever be a female and perform a part, that would be it. That would be the one. So there you go.
With Anna Kendrick too, you said?
The movie has Anna Kendrick, yeah.
Oh, okay. The movie.
The last 5 years, yeah.
All right. It's
Andy, really
you're
good.
Next. Oh, okay. Andy, you're next, man.
You know, I got some music videos here playing in front of me on mute. You know, that video by Lionel Richie, Hello, it's very weird.
Yeah.
Plays
a blind chick.
A blind chick with
the moves, blind chick,
yeah. Blind student. But you know, he follows her home. He follows her to class. And she's
creepy. Yeah.
Fucking weird stalker. The 80s were a wild time, baby.
He's all touching her face. She's all touching his face.
Right?
Yeah.
And it probably won video of the year.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah. I love the Counting Crows. A lot of people complain about Adam Derwitz's voice. I love Adam Derwitz's voice. I think it's very original. And I'm going to go with a song off the debut album, August and Everything After, Sullivan Street. I love the way that Adam Duritz tells a story.
Yeah, he's great storyteller.
And I really love the way that he pushes the limits of his voice at the end of Sullivan Street, like he's running out of breath, but you can feel his emotion in it, and that's what I would want. It's like, you know, being in a little venue and singing the song. And if you get the deluxe edition, the deluxe edition of August and Everything After, it's got a live album that comes along with it, and it's sometimes it's like in a small acoustic setting. And man, when the Counting Crows play acoustic, his voice fills the room with his words.
Didn't they have an unplugged or something like an unplugged?
So
I thought they did. Yeah,
I was just about to say, because Andy, first off, awesome pick, dude.
No, thank you.
Nobody ever talks about Counting Crows anymore. Fucking love that band.
Oh, me too.
Especially their first 3 albums. Love Counting Crows.
Recovering the Satellites is awesome.
And there were 2 songs in particular that I would pick that are not on my list.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Adam Duritz telling a story, the live versions, the unplugged version of the song Anna Begins, and the live version of Round Here on Across the Wire, 9 minutes of just fucking, it's just, he's laying it all out there, man. And that's what a great, like, in Sullivan Street's a great song. Adam Duritz is great, man. He's very underrated.
I love that song. I like that song, A Murder of One, dude. I love that fucking song so much, man.
Yeah, with the drums on that. It's amazing to hear that.
Yeah.
A Murder of One.
Great pick, dude. Great pick.
Mark.
I have to pick Rush, right? Yeah, I need to pick Rush.
You have to.
I have to pick Rush. It's in my DNA. But it's not number 1. But it could be number 1. Like Alex Lifeson on La Villa Strangiato. My God.
Second mention on that one.
That is his masterpiece right there. People don't ever give Alex any credit. I have to.
True.
Even me, I don't give him as much credit because you got Geddy Lee, you got Neil Peart.
I'm sorry. Alex is my favorite in Rush.
Alex, well, he's not my favorite in Rush. It's Neil.
No, nobody's my favorite in Rush.
Yeah, nobody asked you, Mark. But
well, I don't think Alex gives one shit if he's not the famous.
Well, Neil, because of the lyrics and the drumming.
Did you ever see the clip, Jerry, of Geddy and Alex at a fucking diner, and the waitress is asking Geddy for his autograph, but not Alex Lifeson?
Yeah.
He's like, really? He's in that band?
So La Villa Strangiato and I played guitar after Alex Lifeson.
And just one more note, La Villa Strangiato is such a complex song that it's like, back in the day, Rush used to like record the song straight through, and that was the only song they couldn't do straight through. They had to break it into 3 parts.
Okay.
But he is my favorite. I love Alex Lifeson. I love his guitar playing.
Tremendous.
Amazing.
So good.
All right, my next pick is going to want to play guitar on this one. If I could be half as good as this fucking guy was, I would be happy. If I could go up there and do Diary of a Madman, fucking Randy Rhoads style, man, holy shit. First of all, I would have to do it perfectly, or I would feel ashamed of myself if I fucked it up in any way. So it's such a masterpiece of guitar work, dude, that you'd have to play it almost, note to note, pitch. I mean, everything. Pitch, it's got to be there, everything. I mean, Randy, I always say today, if Randy was still alive, we'd be talking about Randy and Eddie. He was the best one of all time. We would have. Sorry. I know it's hypothetical and all that, but I think we would be talking about him being one of the best of all time. I mean, he's already considered one of the best and shit. Look how short his career was. So anyway,
I think there's a certain amount of object permanence with Randy Rhoads. Unfortunately, it's just, I think because he was in such a time when it's so saturated and Eddie had just hit. Because think of like his career was no shorter than Jimi Hendrix, and yet we talk about Hendrix constantly.
Yeah, true. Yep, good point.
Yeah, but Randy played it Quiet Riot, and it was horrible.
Yeah, but there's a lot of more. There's a lot of material that's come out by Jimmy. A lot more material. of live and studio work.
Jimmy made like great albums that he did himself. Quiet Riot, I think Randy Rhoads is bastardized by Kevin DeBruck.
Not just that, but I think the bigger problem, honestly, is that by the time Randy Rhoads came along, we had experienced Page and Ace Frehley and Alex Lifeson and Richie Blackmore and like, you know what I mean? Like just the list goes on. And then came Randy Rhoads, who was amazing. And then Eddie came around the same time. It just, I don't know. Like I said, it's
hey, Rick Nielsen, the Cheap Trick was no slouch either.
He wasn't.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I would love the attempt to play that song as good as Randy. All right, Kate, you're next.
Well, speaking of Jimi Hendrix, I can't do a list without Hendrix being on it. I picked Machine Gun,
good one.
Band of Gypsies. I mean, this is like the entire intro sounds like the name of, I mean, it is entitled. It's perfect. It's perfect. This is where I'm like, all right, if I did instrumentals over anything, and this is his guitar on this, I mean, come on, Billy Cox on bass and then Buddy Miles on drums. No slouches, but we just talked about this. Hendrix is one of the best to ever live, ever, and still talked about all the time.
Right next to
and
me.
It's yeah. If you had one of those, like we've asked each other this before, like dream concert, living or dead, that Fillmore East, New Year's Eve, 1969. I can't even imagine. And they dropped that like multi-album set, the songs for the Groovy Children, and I just can't even imagine seeing that. And Hendrix's style, his like being able to be inventive too, where he's like sawing off different things on his guitar and trying to mess with things.
He played it upside down, for fuck's sake.
He played with his goddamn teeth, and when it was on fire too. Like he's so good.
If you on the Max streaming app, I believe there's a whole documentary about the Monterey Pop Show, and it's got like the whole show, and it's fucking dope.
So cool. Yeah, I can't even imagine having seen him.
Like well, the reason why the Who destroyed their instruments because they had to follow Jimi Hendrix.
Because they're bitchy. No, because they had to go on before him, not after him.
Oh, I thought they went out after him.
No, they got bitchy and destroyed shit because he got the headline over them.
Oh, okay.
Bunch of whiny cunts.
We don't embrace that word as much as we should.
I'm sorry, Kate.
No, I love that. I say it
good.
all the time.
Well,
people,
I called
the women who are
British.
Offended by that are probably one. So I think
I dropped it because the Who are British and they say it like
we need to embrace it like the UK.
I heard the Who said we had to follow Hendrix, and how are we going to follow him burning his guitar? No, okay, then I got it wrong.
Maybe would that be on like
Monterey.
Woodstock or something? Is it for sure Monterey? But that Hendrix is the fucking king, man. I don't know. I love so many guitarists. I love so much music. You guys know how I am, but this has like, I have some deep seated thing in my psyche with Hendrix of like doing illicit substances, and I convinced myself that Jimi Hendrix was God. And I come out of my stupor and it was his birthday. I was like, yep, it's real. He's God.
I'm sure at some point someone would have done what Hendrix did, but the fact of the matter is he changed the game. Yeah, everything that we like today is the way it is because of Hendrix and the Beatles. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
And that was like that devotion of his to the Beatles where it's like Sgt. Pepper drops and he learns it in 24 hours and plays it soup to nuts. Like, how many other musicians could even attempt to do that?
But that's also, but on top of that, he was a superstar, and that's just a respect level for the music. You know what I mean? And that's what's awesome. Like, that's why I love a band. I hate to go back to it, but that's why I love a band like Rush, or like, because a band like Rush in the 80s were like, the Police, they're doing some interesting things. We're going to emulate that and do that. And then not even be afraid to say so. They came out and said, yeah, we've been listening to a lot of Rush. We've been listening to a lot of Max Webster. Yeah, I love that shit. That's just shows such a level of respect. I can't
So
even.
cool. Oh man, yeah. All right. I'll stop. But
All
yeah.
right, I'll make mine short and I'll make my next one short and sweet. I got a little surprise for you tonight. We're gonna turn the well, not the microphone, but the guitar over to Ace Frehley playing "Calling Dr. Love," one of my favorite guitar solos of fucking all time. And even the thing with Ace Frehley, we were talking about influence earlier. You can play that solo note for note, and if you're not Ace Frehley, it's not going to sound the same. It's just that simple, and it's all time.
Yeah, Ace was awesome, but his stuff wasn't really difficult to play.
But it was his.
Yeah.
It was his. It was his juice. It was his.
It's
serum,
all bends and flash bends.
Whatever it is,
so,
him stumbling around. I don't give a shit. It sounded amazing.
It did. It worked. I mean, can you imagine a clean Ace Frehley? I mean, it just wouldn't sound right with Kiss.
Probably would have been boring.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
think about it. Jimmy Page, by his own admission, is one of the sloppiest guitar players there is, and his shit's brilliant. So there you go.
Yeah, agree.
He's amazing. Yeah.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, the reason why I have this right next to me, this Hendrix one, was because, as y'all know, I've been delving into rock jazz fusion. So I pulled this out thinking maybe Banner Gypsies is going to be rock jazz fusion, but it was a good album, but it's more of a funk rock fusion instead of jazzy. But my next pick is Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Of course, me being Neil Young on vocals and guitar for the guitar workout, Like a Hurricane. Two, not just one, but two extended guitar solos. The second one is so dirty and grungy and going off the rails. You don't know which way he's going. The best version of this is on one of the greatest double live albums, Live Rust, Catch Down, Side 4. So I'm going to go with Like a Hurricane, Neil Young and Crazy Horse.
I don't know, Andy, just a side note. I don't know if I mentioned this to you when I was on Black Spinner when you were talking about the jazz fusion. And I think you're a Prince fan, no or no?
No.
A what?
Do you like Prince?
No.
Okay. Well, he has a jazz fusion album called The Rainbow Children. So I would just suggest checking it out.
I'll check it out.
It's fantastic and it's so good. And yeah, it's called The Rainbow Children. It's mostly jazz fusion. I think it's got a funk element to it, but it's labeled jazz fusion. I had to look it up. So
all right, I'll check it out.
It's really good.
Yeah, we need to go. Jerry needs to go to bed, man.
Yes, let's go. Come on.
Let's go.
I got to about 11. We got about 45 minutes.
I'm trying to speed it up here. Come on. But I want to throw all these things out there because
I'll go fast, and of course I'm going to pick Led Zeppelin, but I'm not picking a drummer.
Hey, mama said the way.
How'd you know I was going to pick Black Dog? The vocals because I already said vocals. The way Robert Plant sounds on and rhythm that he just has with those highs. Greta Van Fleet, you could never do Robert Plant. That is fucking one of the best. Nobody can emulate him. Kingdom Come, you tried.
No. I'll tell you what.
Even Robert Plant can't emulate him.
You're gonna laugh at this, but there's a YouTube video. I think she was on Howard Stern. Lady Gaga is singing that song.
Oh, she's amazing.
I can see her doing.
Check it out. I was blown away by her singing that song.
Even
she was in a Zeppelin cover band.
Even David Coverdale could not do Robert Plant justice.
Robert Plant can't even do Robert Plant live. He can't. Sorry.
He used to.
No, he couldn't.
But I'm gonna pick Black Dog. I just fucking love it. I hope I just don't lose my voice like he did.
Well, you don't sing every night for 40 years. So
I don't have a voice anyways, but if I could sing it, I hope I wouldn't lose it.
You'll be fine.
All right. I'm gonna go a little metal this time. One of my favorite metal bands, Metal Church. One of my favorite singers is Mike Howe. Wow. Rest in peace. Ooh, Mike Howe, I might be 3 shots down in the future. Anyway, I'm talking about Badlands, man. What a great vocal that is. I mean, he's got like interlacing vocals on it that sound incredible and haunting. And he's got one of the best sneers in metal vocal history, in my opinion. So check that album out, Blessing in Disguise by Metal Church. It's a freaking classic if you're into like good metal stuff. And actually get into all Metal Church because they rule. They're a very underrated band. They're incredible. So that's my next pick, Metal Church. Badlands. Okay, Kate, you're next.
I talk about him a lot. I love him. Dr. John. It was tough to pick one song, but I think the Aiko Aiko Dixie Cups cover, because he does it in his own funky voodoo, New Orleans, Zydeco style. Like, I don't know. I love the song Aiko Aiko. I love the Dixie Cups one, but Dr. John doing it and his piano style and the whole band, so good. I don't know. I can make that one short, but somebody who went from playing guitar and doing sessions work and then creates this character for a friend of his. Friend doesn't want the character. He gets shot in the hand and starts playing piano instead of guitar and keeps the character. And today, what we know as Dr. John, like just such a funny string of coincidences that leads him into this character that's beloved by so many. But all right, I'll stop.
Right here.
All right, Chris, you're next.
Mine is a combo piano / vocal. I can actually sing this song and I sing it pretty damn well, but I can't imagine with my little plucky fingers trying to play this song on piano. And it's Billy Joel's Summer Highland Falls.
Oh, I love that song.
It's one of my all-time favorite songs. The lyrics are absolutely brilliant. The melody line, the vocal line is one of my favorites ever. And that piano line is so just absolutely technically insane. And yet he just does it. He just does it and he sings it. And, we all know how brilliant he is as a songwriter. I don't know if he gets enough credit as a player, as a piano player. I mean, he is the piano man, but I don't know. You don't often hear like, wow, Billy Joel, great piano player. Like you usually hear like great songwriter, good singer, good performer, blah, blah, blah. Just if I could play that song on piano, that would make my whole life.
Yeah. I really love the live version of that.
Songs in the Attic, yeah.
Scenes from Italian Restaurant too, man. Great
No,
piano
it's great.
playing.
All his stuff is great, but
yeah.
that song in particular, there's just so many notes going on, and then the vocal melody is so diametrically like different. It's got a different pace to it, and it's so. And if you don't really listen to, like, if you don't really pay attention to the interplay, you won't really appreciate how much is going on there with him. It's just a phenomenal feat of musicianship, in my opinion.
The lights went down at Broadway. It's a good song.
All right, Andy, I guess you're next.
Yeah, my next one that I'm going to go with is, it's the song that made me fall in love with Deep Purple. And I would be Richie Blackmore on lead guitar, of course, for Child in Time. Amazing song. And I didn't know if I was going to go such an amazing song. Did I want to be the singer? Did I want to be the keyboard player? Did I want to be John Lord? Or did I want to do the guitar? Or did I want to do the drums? That's how great the song is. But I went with Richie Blackmore's solos on Child in Time. It's a beast of a song.
Deep Purple just announced a European tour.
Yeah. Saw that.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple of times recently, and they're still good.
All right,
I saw them at Dream Theater, and that was embarrassing.
Yeah, I always have to get this band in an episode of Freeform or BS. Oingo Boingo. I'm gonna pick Danny Elfman for the vocals on Stay. I love the quirkiness, the sound of Danny's vocals.
I think you do this just to fuck with me.
No. I actually, dude, I listen to you don't realize how much I love Oingo Boingo. They are my top.
I do.
I just, you've never seen them on the Halloween shows. You've never seen them at the Universal Amphitheater or Irvine Meadows Amphitheater. They are a great live band.
I acknowledge their contribution to 80s movies. So, the
80s movies, dude, this guy made a contribution to fucking all movies. Danny Elfman is a fucking genius and his voice fucking rules. I fucking just love it. He's this is not a cat show with prizes at the door. This is not a funeral with mourners in a line. Fucking great fucking song. I love the way his vocals go up and down on this. And he goes, no, don't you go. Won't you stay with me one more day? And he goes, if we get to rule one more night. Fucking love Rule. Fucking great song. Stay by Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman on vocals.
Did you just make those lyrics up now, or is that the song?
That's the song.
Oh, okay.
If we get to rule one more night, he's saying this is not a funeral with mourners in line. This is not a cat show. The prize is at the door. No, don't you go. Won't you stay with me one more day? If we get to rule, with the girl one more night. Fucking great lyrics. Fucking, he rules, dude. I love him.
I know.
That's awesome.
Oh.
But that's awesome that you love him like that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Who was that?
Oingo Boingo.
Great.
All right. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I'm done.
My next pick is a song that, again, like the Bob Seger song, I love to perform a duet with. And it's my favorite Stone song. I would love to do Tumbling Dice with Mick Jagger, dude. Somehow make that into a fucking duet. That would be freaking awesome, dude. I mean, I can just see myself going crazy out there. Mick would probably still out energy. He probably has more energy than I do still nowadays. That's how great. I mean, he's fucking awesome. Mick Jagger rules.
Sounds good on the newest album. So there you
go. Yeah. But anyway, that would be a dream come true. Yeah, I would totally fucking shit my pants if that ever came true. But you never know. It never will come true. What am I saying? But
you never know.
You never know. You might be in a karaoke bar someday. And be like,
you sound bloody good, mate.
You said Mick Jagger sounded good on the newest album. So did Don Dokken. There you go.
I like. I don't. It's not a great album, but I do like some of the songs off Hackney Diamonds. It's not that bad.
It's not amazing. It's not.
His voice is auto-tuned as fuck.
Yeah, but Rolling Stones, that's our opinion, though, Mark.
Do you know what auto-tune is?
You guys like it, that's fine.
Yeah, but you always make remarks about it.
Well, because I give my opinion, because that's what I do.
But then you say
I'm never putting your opinion down ever.
But then you say it. But then you say ignorant shit like auto-tune when you don't clearly know what auto-tune is.
Have you heard that? Have you heard?
No, I have not.
Have you heard Share Believe?
I mean, I'm speaking.
Oh, I love that song.
That's an auto-tune classic.
I'm speaking about it with some authority. I think I've listened to it at least once.
All right.
And as a singer myself, and
I think Mick sounds good. A lot of it. The songs are just not there for me.
Okay.
How about that?
It's all good. Just don't say dumb shit like auto-tune.
There's a lot of auto-tune on that album, just like the last two Ozzy albums. But I like Patient Number 9.
So. Hey, you know, never use auto-tune. Tom Araya Slayer. Okay, end of story.
You might now. Let's see.
Can somebody auto-tune that shit, please? Thanks.
All right. Anyway, yeah, that was mine. Okay, now we're going back to Kate.
Ms. Kate.
My next one is going to be Talking Heads.
It was good band.
Talking Heads on every single show that we do in the mix.
I think I'm going to like doing shows with you.
Right.
Talking Heads rule.
Yeah.
This was really tough for me because I'm like, do you go with one of the biggest hits and you pick like Burning Down the House? Or do you do Cross-Eyed and Painless because it's a fucking murderer of a song and it sets a place on fire? And at the end of Stop Making Sense, when they just totally tear the entire place apart, every musician is just killing it. Backup singers, burn, like everything is insane when they do this. So that was my pick, Cross-Eyed and Painless.
Vocals?
Probably. Oh man, that's such a tough call to pick. It's like the whole band is killing it. So do you pick Burn? The backup singers, like, amazing on this when they do that whole tour, that film, like it's ridiculous.
I would pick Tina.
Tina's killing it.
Yeah.
Alex, what's the other guitarist, not Jerry Harrison, the other guy that's playing guitar for them. Alex. Oh, I feel like such a turd. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's in Stop Making Sense, and he's the other guy. And the dude playing percussion. That guy is tearing it up. He is having an absolute blast. He is probably on a ton of coke, but he is having the best time. And
it was the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, like just watching that film or listening to any of that stuff at the time, but especially when they pull it off on that film and it's live and it's so insanely good. I don't know. I love David Byrne so much. He's such a weirdo. The big suit and the whole thing.
Is
like,
the guy you're thinking of Adrian Belew? Is that who you're thinking of?
No. This is a black guitarist that's on.
I'm looking at the members here.
When they do Stop Making Sense. So if you search Stop Making Sense and Alex something, what the hell is that guy's name? It's the other guitarist when they have like the live Stop Making Sense tour, and he's in the film. Big, tall, skinny black guy, but he's tearing it up on that. That would probably be the cool guy to be.
Like the thing with me, like if I was like, I can sing any Talking Head song, but it's just not going to sound like David Byrne. You want to sound like David.
Nobody
Byrne.
and not even like
He's so unique.
David Byrne's not even like one of the best vocalists, but it fits. And there's nobody else who is filling that role in Talking Heads. Like that's what's so incredible.
Where, yeah.
And that's like even a couple of his albums I've talked about, like
What's it, Lynn Mayberry?
Alex Weir?
Alex Weir.
Alex Weir.
Alex Weir, yeah.
Alex Weir is what I found.
Great.
So, yeah.
Watch him on that. Watch him playing and watch his like expressions on his face. Watch him when he's on that. He is having the best time. And that's the other dude I'm talking about, the percussionist and that, and the guy playing like the synth and stuff. He is having the time of his life. It is so good. They're so fun to watch because they're just shredding their asses off and they're just having fun. Like they aren't even concentrating on what they're doing with that. Like they are so in the moment. They look as happy as a dog right then. And it's such an incredible thing to see a human being be able to just tune in. They're in the ether. They're having a blast. And like, that would be such a fun role to play in a band.
I just realized what I just did. I was like, yep, that's definitely a black guy.
I saw that.
Whatever.
Is that what you laughed at, Jerry?
Yeah, that's what I was laughing at. I'm like,
but that's what I'm like. It's not Jerry Harrison, who's a white guitarist. It's their other like guitarist that's on there, and he's black, and I couldn't think of his last name.
African American.
But
I heard Jerry laugh.
But
he definitely laughed at me. He definitely just laughed at me.
Yeah. But oh my God, he looks like he's having the time of his life. So I think if I picked one person to be on that, it'd probably be him because he's having an absolute ball.
And Alex Weir.
He's a murderer on that whole thing. When you watch that whole film, he is killing it the whole time.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd probably want to sing "Psycho Killer" from the Talking Head. That's the song I probably want to sing.
I want to dance. I want to dance with the lamp.
I don't know. I like "Up All Night." I think "Up All Night" would be a fun song to sing.
That whole thing, I watch that like every year.
His vocalizations with "Up All Night," it goes. It's fucking amazing.
Oh my God! Every single year I watch Stop Making Sense. I have to. It's just one of my things. I have to watch it.
It's a Christmas movie for Kate.
I gotta be honest. I don't think I've ever watched it, so I think
it's a good movie.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah.
Jonathan Demme, rest in peace. Directed
genius.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a genius. I mean,
he did Married to the Mob. You ever seen that movie? That's a good movie.
Oh yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's a concert film, but there's like the way David Byrne wanted it set, where he comes out. I don't want to spoil it if you've never watched it, because it's really brilliant. But he discusses he has a book that's called How Music Works, and there's a chapter in that where he talks about how he thought of it in his head, specifically how he wanted this set up and how he wanted it to come out and how everything was supposed to progress throughout the show, because it's like this simple set building up. So I don't want to spoil anything by going into too much detail, but he is absolutely brilliant.
I love artists. I love artists who can. I love musicians specifically. Who can like visualize that type of thing? Like Roger Waters did that type of thing.
Right.
Lee does the same type of thing where they don't hear just the song.
It's in their head, and that's all the dancing and everything. Like David Byrne is cutting up a rug. He is a maniac. Like watching the amount of energy he expends, and like he probably burns like 15,000 calories in this 2 nights. They filmed it over 2 nights. You need to watch it because it's incredible. Especially if you love Talking Heads. Like the first time I ever saw it in the theater, I was dancing in my seat. I could not sit still in my seat because it just gets to you. It's so good. But I'll stop talking.
Stop making sense. No, Dawes and Stop Making Sense. I have homework.
It's so good, dude.
All right, Jerry.
I'm excited for you.
All right, Chris, you're next.
All right.
Keep it short.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jerry.
I'm going.
No, If we can finish this by 11, I'll be happy. We got half hour.
I don't think it's
We
gonna
got
happen
it,
if
we got
people
it.
keep going the way everybody's going.
I'll stop going on my
I have
diet
faith.
chart.
I have faith.
I'm going on base with this one. I could have picked literally any song from this band, Primus, but the one that seemed
Hell
like
yeah.
the most fun to me would be Mr. Know-It-All, just because it's so fucking hard, heavy, fast. And I do love the vocals on it, but there's no challenge to Les Claypool's vocals unless you're gonna go the Dave Byrne route and make it the unique sound, because nobody sounds like Les Claypool. But it's all about the bass in that band always. And I mean, the rest of the artists, I mean, the drummer is fucking amazing, the guitarist is amazing, but
Bassist is amazing.
yeah, I just want to play that bass, dude, and that's just something that's innate. That's hard to learn. That's hard to pick up, especially at my advanced age. So,
How do you feel about the Wiamola?
say that again?
So how do you feel about him playing the Wiamola? That's what I want to learn.
Oh, yeah. Any of it. I mean, Les Claypool's just, I don't know, man. I want to try and get down to the Atlantic City show where Primus is playing with in the summer with Perfect Circle and Pussifer. But,
Can you imagine Les Claypool playing with Metallica? I mean, he actually tried out for Metallica. Can you imagine that?
But I am gonna see Primus with Coheed and Cambria in August. So
Oh wow.
I'm excited about
Oh,
it.
you're gonna love that.
All right, moving on.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, for this one here, I'm going to go off the vocals and channel the great Bruce Dickinson off of his debut album with Iron Maiden being The Number of the Beast.
Ooh, nice one.
The song I'm going to pick is Hallowed Be Thy Name.
Ooh,
One of the best composers for an album.
I thought you were going to go for his solo album.
That's what I was thinking too. I thought he was going to go for a solo album, Bruce song.
I thought you were going to pick
Dudes?
Tattoo Millionaire for a second.
No,
All the Young Dudes
by Iron Maiden. That's one of my favorite songs by them. Might be my favorite.
My favorite Iron Maiden album.
Great way to finish that album. So that's my pick. Me singing that song, Hallowed Be Thy Name.
All right, Mark.
I'm going to go with Dream Theater. I'm going to go one of their shortest songs they ever did, and I'm going to play drums. I want to be Mike Portnoy in this song. I want to play As I Am. I like his short drum fills on this. I think it's really tight.
Hey, that's one of the shortest songs they ever did.
Ashley,
it's one of their short songs. It's
what
not
album is that off of?
That's off of Train of Thought. As I Am.
Oh.
Take me as I am.
Do you want to know something very interesting about that album? Is the reason why this brought this to my brain is because Dream Theater does this trick. All right. For about a 5-album stretch, they ended an album one way and then started the next album the same way. And very few people picked up on it. It took me until Train of Thought to pick up on it. It was like the third one in, and I was like, this begins the same way, and it starts with As I Am. And it starts the same way that Octavarium ends. And it just goes on and on. It's phenomenal. But yeah, As I Am, that's like an 8-minute song, brother.
Yeah, it's one of their shorter songs.
Shorter ones.
Come on, they got like a 30-minute song, a 22-minute song,
a
a
45-minute song.
45-minute song. It's one of their shorter songs.
But I mean, images and words, I think every song on there is short. No.
Yeah, but this is one of my favorite.
2, 3, 4.
It's so good. It sounds short to me. How about that?
Song. Well, that was a radio song, but that's a phenomenal song.
Yeah. So As I Am, Dream Theater.
Good pick, bro.
Drums.
What number are we on?
We're on. We're gonna be start. We got 4 left after I'm done.
Okay, I want to know so that I can have my 4. Okay,
we got 4 left.
Right. Yeah, if I was able to play the piano and sing really well, I would love to sing this song live. It's a Styx song, and of course, if you ever see him live, Dennis Young will always tell you it's the song that got the whole band going, got the whole band started, or you know. But if I can sing, there you go. If I can fucking play the piano and sing "Lady," man, lady. No, see, not even close. I'm not even going to attempt it.
Of the morning.
But you know, and the tool they got now singing it just can't fucking even come close to singing it very well at all. I wish they would actually stop doing it, actually, because he just ruins it, in my opinion. But man, if I was able to pull those. If I was able, I saw Dennis on his last tour, man, and he still sounded great doing that song, dude. I mean, incredible singer, man. Incredible tune.
Does a good job. I like the way he does his stuff. I think he does all right.
He does some
He's not-
songs good, but not that
He's
one.
not Dennis DeYoung. I mean, Dennis DeYoung's one of my all-time favorite singers, so I won't. But I can't dog Lawrence Gowan.
No, I don't mind his original stuff. I don't mind him singing like Grand Illusion and stuff like that. But he just butchers "Lady," in my opinion. Sorry, it's just the way I
Oh,
feel.
that's fair. I mean,
But I mean, and anyway, I would love to have that. Just to have that fucking
Oh,
natural
man,
talent like Dennis DeYoung has, man, incredible. Anyway, that's my next one. Okay, Kate.
Dennis DeYoung's an all-timer.
Yep.
This is tough. I wanted to do some metal, so Judas Priest, Painkiller, but I got to do the drum intro on this, man.
Yeah,
it's
you do.
Scott Travis. It's like, holy hell, this is so crazy. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. That's all I gotta say. Just that drum intro, and then it leads into the shredding guitar, but it's like, holy crap, that just like gets my heartbeat elevated the second it drops. It is so good.
I hear all these crusty old heads saying Scott Travis isn't the best fucking Judas Priest drummer. Fuck off. I like him better.
I don't know if any of you wade into the cesspool that is Reddit, but
No.
I'll dabble
every now and then. Yeah, I do.
I'll dabble in some cess.
I engaged in an argument recently regarding, because Judas Priest just released their newest album.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, it's not the best, but it's not bad. You know, it's
I
not
love
bad.
it.
Oh, I love it too. It's right here, man.
My
Invincible
only
Shield,
issue,
man.
My only
Mine's
issue with
the
it, and
car.
I don't want to get into a full review here. I don't want to take up too much time, but
I like this one better though.
My only problem with the new Judas Priest album is that it's sometimes Maiden does this too. It just sounds like warmed over old stuff. Like it's refreshed old stuff, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just it kills the it's a new album vibe for me. With that being said, it doesn't make it bad. The argument that took place on Reddit, though, because you brought up Painkiller, is all of a sudden there's a contingency out there that wants to shit on Painkiller as if it wasn't that special or that good. And
those people can shut up.
all these years up to this point, Painkiller was very widely considered a benchmark type of album for the 90s metal. So I find it weird. And there's a whole bunch of new love for Turbo. Like, what is going on?
I like both of them.
Yeah, but a lot of people like to shit on Turbo because it was Priest going soft, trying to be hair metal or whatever.
I like new wave shit. That's new wave.
I think it's fine, but it's just weird how, like, on certain places, especially with like younger people, like Reddit, Discord, like these places where like the narrative is shifting a little bit. It's very weird. It's a very weird thing.
And it's really a benchmark album for thrash in the 90s.
Oh God, yes. So
and Metallica wasn't thrashing in the 90s, so that was harder than Metallica. So
yeah, a lot.
Well, yeah,
and I love this new album. I absolutely love it. And I read somebody had said, "Oh well, it's not really Judas Priest. It's just Rob Halford and Ian Hill." But
that is Judas Priest.
But Scott Travis has been there since 1990. He's been their drummer for over 30 years.
Everybody loves Richie too, man.
Dave Holland in '89, I think, is when Dave Holland. But
well, he stopped playing on Turbo.
Right.
Right. 86. That's 86. So, but like,
well, it was Johnny Five.
We're gonna start like complaining about Ship of Theseus type situations. I mean, every fucking band out there right now is barely original. I mean, if they don't have, so I mean, cut it out.
Well, in a band that's been around for 40 years, how do you keep all the original members?
40. I think they're like on 50 now. No,
50.
Even Aerosmith doesn't have the drummer anymore.
Rock and Roll came out what 72.
Yeah.
But this is like Glenn Tipton still played on this album.
Yeah,
he doesn't tour with them, but he plays on this album.
Well, he just did 2 encores last night with them.
Yeah,
so.
And their set list,
they're still killing it live too.
Yeah.
Oh, the set list.
I've seen him 3 times in the last 6 years. Amazing.
Still killing it live. His voice, Halford's voice, is still incredible.
I'm always impressed by bands who don't like. That's the one criticism I have of Styx is that they play literally the same set list I've seen them like 7 times in the past like 5 years, and they literally change a song, if that. It's fucking obnoxious.
Priest will do like a completely different set list every night.
Set lists, I've been looking them up because I'm considering going to see them.
You should.
They don't rank as one of my favorites, and I've seen them multiple times. I've seen Halford. I saw Halford with Fight. I saw Halford, so like I have no shortage of Halford in my life, in my concert going life, but this might be the last time. You know what I mean? Like this might be it. Like
he's 72.
Right.
Like
who knows?
Sounds amazing on this album.
His voice is still incredible.
Jerry asleep.
Jerry,
No,
what else? Where are we going now, Jerry?
Chris, what do you got?
Oh, so since you went metal, I'm gonna go metal, but mine's way more deep cut. It's a band called Between the Buried and Me, which is a prog metal band. They're almost the yang to Dream Theater's yin. Like if Dream Theater's all melodic vocalization, Between the Buried and Me has a lot of that guttural and that real heavy shit. But they do 15-minute songs, 10-minute songs, like really integral stuff. If you're into like metal and you can deal with like the guttural scream type stuff, it's not all that. There's a lot of melody too. There's a song on an album called Coma Ecliptic for those who like melody and want to hear this heavy stuff with a little bit of the other stuff sprinkled in. Coma Ecliptic is the album you should start with. And this song called Turn on the Darkness, which has such a brilliant, wonderful mix of just brutal heaviness and like guttural vocals, but also melodic stuff. Like I can do gutturals and I can do like metal screams, like metalcore stuff, but I could never do it as good as Tommy Rogers does on this song or in any of his shit. So if I could be Tommy Rogers for Turn on the Darkness and sing that song and vocalize that song, that would just be watching the audience just go. That would be awesome.
All right.
Between the Buried and Me, I mean, almost all their albums are pretty much concept albums, aren't they, Chris?
Yes.
Or close to it?
Yes. Not the same concept. This isn't like a Coheed and Cambria thing.
Time.
Different stories each time. Yeah. I think the last album, Colors 2, was the only one that wasn't. So
yeah.
But yeah, they're fucking amazing. If you haven't heard Between the Buried and Me yet and you like metal, like they are like to me, they're doing Dream Theater better than Dream Theater. They've taken it to another level. So
they're an interesting band. I've seen them once with a friend of mine that is a big fan, and he wanted me to go with them, and I went. I was like, wow, they're pretty damn good, man.
They're so good. Yeah. I have an interview with Tommy Rogers on my page on Red.
Oh wow, really? So, interesting.
Yeah. Fucking love that band. They're amazing.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep the metal train going. And I would be Kirk Hammett in The Master of Puppets with his guitar.
Nice. I would stand right next to you and be James Hetfield because that fucking rhythm section is insane. That riff is just all time.
Yeah. Well, come on, Chris, let's do it. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the soloing on Master of Puppets. I think it's fantastic.
I do know the bass line. I do know the bass line of that song. So
and I can sing it. I can certainly sing it. So there we
Drummer,
go.
anybody? Drummer, anybody?
Well, it's Lars, so that wouldn't be that hard.
Oh, Lars rules.
I like Lars.
He should have stayed playing tennis.
All right, you done, Andy?
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Well, I'm gonna go like I did guitar and vocals. I'm gonna go bass and vocals. I'm gonna go Primus with Jerry Was a Race Car Driver.
Jerry was a race.
I just love Jerry Was a Race Car Driver. He's driving around town.
So good.
Bass line, fucking he's doing it. It's just amazing.
There's another band that does not feel beholden to any set list. Like they will play literally anything.
They do Rush.
But
God damn it.
Yeah, absolutely. But like they don't even guarantee you that you're gonna hear Jerry Was a Race Car Driver every night. They don't. They just play whatever.
I don't care. Awesome. I like Winona Big Brown Beaver. I like a lot of their fucking
Big Brown Beaver.
They're fucking amazing.
You know something that I found out that was funny that I never realized? So in Tommy the Cat, like that rambling.
Great song too.
I always thought that it was Les. It's Tom Waits.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear the original, like the first version of that song is on
so good.
What's the name of the album? Suck on This, which is Primus is one of the few bands to do a live album as their first album. So their very first album was a live album. And they had the balls that the first 30 seconds of the album was YYZ by Rush. They played that live and then they went into John the Fisherman. But the original version of that song has Les Claypool doing it, but it's different. It's slightly different. But yeah, that's wacky. Tom Waits.
I love it.
it's so weird because I'm not a big Primus fan, but we did a Primus episode. Remember, Kate?
Love Primus.
On a Black
Primus
Spinner
With
Circle.
Scott,
I
yeah.
set it up in a way where it was Kate and Al and a couple of
Scott
other
Lynch and
yeah, and
yeah,
and Robert or
Bob Rowe.
Bob Rowe. But I set
Yeah.
up where they can do it because I wasn't a part of it. But I set it up where they can do it, and I bowed out because I've got no interest in it.
Because you're awesome and you're an omnipotent host, is what you are, and that's fucking rad. And for the record, Primus sucks.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
You know,
That's
you
a
know.
joke.
I know it's a joke.
If you know, you know.
I know that's our slogan.
I know that too. Yeah. All right.
I love it. Jerry,
Jerry,
what's your number 4?
My number 4 is a song from probably one of the best debut albums ever. Whether you like it or not, you got to admit it was a pretty impressive album. I'm talking about Boston's debut album. If I could do the solo for Hitch a Ride, man, I would love to do that. That's one of the best solos I think ever recorded in musical history. I love Tom's playing on that album. The whole album, there's not a bad song on it. Like I said, we talk about it all the time. You can hear every song, literally every song on the radio on that
classic rock
album.
radio. Yep.
I mean, everywhere. I mean, just an incredible solo for that song. All the solos are incredible on that album. This one stands out, especially that outro solo, man. It is just incredible. And we did a great episode on Brad Delp, our first episode.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. It's pretty fun doing that.
Yeah, for
episode.
3 Shots Down.
Yes.
Yep.
And but anyway, that's my next one. We'll go with Kate. You're next.
So my third one, I love a hell of a piano player, so I had to shout out Dave Brubeck on this. If you could be Dave Brubeck playing Take 5 and kill it at that, come on. It's
great.
I was lucky enough to see him live twice while he was still alive. He played Jazz Fest here for free. I got to see him twice, and the last time he had like all his kids and his whole band and everything, and he was like 92. Wow. Incredible. Still could kill it. Still tickled the ivories like a champ. But all right, Chris, what's your number 3?
I dated this girl that was a big Dave Brubeck fan.
Oh, I love Brubeck, man. He's so good.
And when we broke up, I snatched one of those albums.
Sucker. Sucks to suck.
Nick, I tell you.
I am absolutely loving Andy's relationship stories. They really make me so happy. I've gotten 3 doozies in the past like several weeks. I'm gonna stick with the prog rock / metal. I'm gonna go with drums on this one. Jerry Gaskill of King's X might be one of the most odd drummers there's ever been. He looks like he's having a full body seizure whenever he plays. Like everything is just like, and he plays like the small kit, so you can't miss him. But from the album, what album is that from now? Is it Faith, Hope, Love? I think it's from Faith, Hope, Love. The song is We Were Born to Be Loved. And it's just got this fantastic, it's almost funky, which is weird for a prog rock song, but it's got like this, it's got a very specific time signature to it, but it's also got a really good swing to it. It's super interesting. It's a very intricate song to play on drums, and Jerry does it masterfully. Somehow that guy's still on tour if they're suffering like 4, 5, 6 different heart attacks, and oh god, it's crazy. Yeah, it's out of control. The past 10 years for King's X has been out of control. Is it on that album?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah, good, nice.
I'm taking a deep dive into these guys lately, man. I got all 5 of these
King's
CDs.
X is awesome.
Really enjoying their stuff.
What's your favorite album so far?
Probably their debut, actually.
Really? Out of the
I know.
Shocking.
Al said the second one was like the best, and it is good.
Yeah.
But what's that slow song off the freaking first album? I love it
Goldilocks?
so much. Goldilocks, that's it.
Yeah.
What a fucking tune that is, man.
It's a great tune. Wait until you get to like I don't know, man. See, everybody's different because a lot of people like that 80s like King's X where it's super technical and tight sounding, and then somewhere around the 90s
Gretchen is the album I got into them.
The album Dog Man is where everything changed and they got really dirty sounding and grungier. But God, the music is so Dogman is just Dogman, and there's another album called Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous are like 2 fucking pinnacle albums for me. If you're gonna like King's X, man.
They're all good albums, but Gretchen Goes to Nebraska was the album that got me into them.
Their latest album their latest album was very mid. Like it was not good at all.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it was very disappointing, and
I
that's
didn't
why
want to
haven't
hear
seen-
it.
They've been playing on this tour, like in my area, like 3 or 4 dates, and I haven't gone because I keep looking at their set list, and they're playing like 8, 9 new songs from the new album, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, shit. Like if they were just playing 1 or 2 songs from the new album, or maybe 3, but
Right.
they're pulling like the Rush thing. They're doing like almost the whole fucking album, and it's just
because they're going to be here next month, and I was kind of going back and forth on it.
I would
So,
see
like-
I would see KXM if they ever went
okay.
on tour.
Way to veer off the tracks there. If you,
Well, Doug Pinnick is in that band, so there
I
you go.
know it. I know it is. Yeah, listen to the newest album. If you like the newest album, then go see them because they're great live. They're so good. Or they were. I haven't seen them in like over a decade, but
They're like playing in a small place, but I think that's where they usually play, are small
yeah,
places.
no, they're one of the most unsung bands there is in terms
And
of
They're the
and
artist band, you know.
And they've pretty much been the same lineup since what, at least 1980s, at least. I mean,
oh,
they
they've
have not
been
changed.
the same from the beginning.
They're
Yeah.
they're like
I thought there were a couple, like, well, maybe it was another band they were in. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
not.
they've always been the 3 of them.
Yeah.
It's
always been
Oh,
the
okay.
three.
Jerry,
And their
Todd,
tickets
anyway.
are like
Doug.
20. I think their tickets are like 20 or 25 bucks.
Yeah, they're not expensive at all.
Yeah.
It's because they've had one moment like during the 2-album cycle between Faith, Hope, Love, and Dog Man. They had some MTV play, and it got a
Yeah.
little big. They played Woodstock '94, but then like after that, it's just been nothing but clubs. Nothing but
Over
clubs.
My Head was played on MTV a lot.
Yeah, and so was It's Love
Music,
and Dogman.
music.
But
I
if
am
you ask any musician, and I'm not joking, any like rock or metal musician, they will praise King's X to like
I was just saying that.
to the highest.
They're the
They have
artist
so much
artist.
respect. Yeah, but
They're
for
the
whatever
artist
reason,
artist.
Just people don't come out for them. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. They're one of those bands that it's a head scratcher. Never gotten it.
Yeah.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, like I've been saying, and I've been getting so much into this rock jazz fusion that it actually made my list at number 3. Birds of Fire from the Mahavishnu Orchestra, and I would be John McLaughlin playing guitar on here.
Hell yeah, you would.
I am ordered a 5-pack, and that should be coming in tomorrow. But lately, I've been getting into their drummers 5-pack, Billy Cobham. I've been getting
Billy
into
Cobham,
that
baby.
recently.
You
I've
know,
got a couple of them in the car.
I
right
wonder
now.
about these 5-packs. These artists actually see any of this fucking money, or does it all go to the record people that come out with these compilations?
Where is it coming from? What record company?
Oh,
Like, is that
I don't
from
know where it is.
Atlantic? If
Yeah,
it's
this
from
was
Atlantic,
from Atlanta.
Yeah, it is Atlantic. Okay.
yeah, no, they're not getting any of that. That contract's
Yeah.
long over.
That's why I kind of sucks about having to buy these, but they're so cool. They're like $15. It's like hard to refuse not buying them. You know what
Yeah, I mean, like why? It's like, why wouldn't you?
I got
don't have-
I got the Kansas and the Foreigner one. I think Foreigner does get money from that one now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I know King's X's contract with Atlantic has been long done, like
Yeah.
since Dogman came out, like that back in the mid '90s. So I can't imagine they're getting any money for that. Maybe, I guess there's a distribution. Maybe, I don't fucking know. You're better
I
off
would
just
like
giving
that
them the
Presto
0.1
Jared
cent
as
that you
well.
would give them on streaming.
I got that 5-pack as well. I bought it because Al Horta talks
That's
about.
how
it
I got it.
constantly.
That's how I got it. Yeah.
Al Horta rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found it at a bookstore actually. I don't know if it was Albuquerque or Santa Fe, one of those towns.
Yeah.
And I picked it up.
Mahavishnu Orchestra is one of the strongest vibes that
Yeah.
you can. It's just you like. You can't just pop that on. Like, it's
No.
a commitment. You need to listen to that shit. Like, you can't just have it on in the background. That's not a thing.
No, dude, I'm telling you, man, this jazz rock future, I'm getting so heavy into it.
Now, I don't
It's
know how into metal you
unreal.
are, Andy.
Huh?
Like heavy. I don't know how into real heavy metal you are into. Like,
He likes some
hardcore.
metal.
There's an extreme metal band called Dillinger Escape Plan.
Ooh, I don't
And
like
I
it.
remember interviewing Ben Weinman, the guitarist, and we got into this whole musical discussion. And basically, he was like, he's like, my basic writing style is I just take Mahavishnu Orchestra and just speed it up to like
All right.
to like 200 BPM, and that's
Yeah.
to me. And then like it changed the whole way I listen to them. Like after that, I was like, wow, musically, like this is right on. It makes.
I hate
sense.
to cut you off, but Jerry needs to go to bed soon.
Now we're down to our last two.
I'm not.
I'm down to I'm down to my 3.
I'm okay. Let's
Let
finish it up.
Jerry
It's
bitch.
good.
He's a big boy. Let
Okay.
Jerry
That's
bitch.
good.
He can bitch out.
Well, Jerry
All right.
was the one complaining about it. I don't care.
Complain.
Well, no, because it was like 9:30. We haven't even started the list yet. That's
yeah,
what
we
I'm
were
worried about.
we were just rambling.
Yeah.
I just
No,
making
but
sure.
that-
which is cool, but Fridays is the only night that I have to get up at 4:00 in the morning.
No,
to go
we
to
got
work,
momentum now, so let's just keep
so.
going.
Or day, I mean. Anyway,
I'm on
Mark, go for
3.
yours.
Mark,
My
Jesus Christ.
my number 3 is the guy who got me into guitar playing when I first heard this, Eruption. Of course I want to play that. Of course I want to fucking jam now. I want to be on stage and go, look at this, bitches. I can play fucking I want to play Eddie Van Halen. Fuck yeah, I want to be Eddie Van Halen. Fuck, that's so cool.
Well, like I said, I know he's influential and all, but he's one of the guys that makes me put the guitar down because I'll never fucking sound as good as he is.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
If you could play it, wouldn't you want to play that shit?
I would just want to keep my tongue. That's the only.
Oh yeah, true. So that's my number 3.
I know we all hate
Ace
Sammy
Frehley
Hagar in this.
Show you how.
What? Who?
Maybe Ace Frehley can show you how.
I know we all hate Van Hagar in this room except for Mark. And
I love it.
Oh, okay. Because the other day I put on Van Halen for the first time because I wait for the thaw to come. I wait for the ice to crack before Van Halen comes on in my house or in my ears because I can't listen to Van Halen in the cold and take it seriously. I just can't. It doesn't make sense. I can't listen to Yes when it's warm out, and I can't listen to Van Halen when it's cold. It's just
I listen to anything.
The other day I put on I put on my Van Halen list, and the first song that came on was Humans Being, and that fucking song cranks. Oh my God, what a fucking banger of a tune that is. I just wanted to throw that out there because I don't think that song gets enough recognition. It's
a lot of
song.
people who hate Sammy like that song for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Because
I don't know why either.
Sammy made
Those are the
song.
worst lyrics he's ever written in his life.
But if it was up to Eddie Van Halen, that song would have been very different. He wrote that song about Eddie Van Halen.
I like that song. Yeah.
He wrote that song because he was pissed at Eddie.
Around the Balance era.
Yeah.
Around the time Balance came out.
Yeah.
The two songs I like by Van Hagar is that one, and Hot Summer or Summer Nights. I mean,
Aftershock, dude, fucking rules.
Yeah.
All right, so
Sideways.
All right,
Jerry.
not that this is a difficult thing, but I would just love to sing because it's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
But I would love to fucking sing the Rain song live by Led Zeppelin, man.
Oh,
Nice.
cool, yeah.
I mean, just incredibly, oh man, just heartfelt lyrics, and Robert Plant's voice is amazing on it. And I know they did that song on there. What was that called, Mark? Their MTV thing? Fuck, I always forget it, man.
No quarter.
No quarter.
No quarter. And it was just, man, I just want to go on stage and do this song. It's so fucking epic. But that's all I want to say. We'll move on to the next one. I'm singing it.
You're singing it?
Said
Okay.
like
Cool.
9 times.
Yeah. 9 times.
9 times.
Let's not talk about Revolution number 9. Let's keep going.
No, we're talking about Ferris Bueller.
Ferris
Thanks for
Bueller.
joining us.
Oh, I know Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
All right, Kate.
Happy birthday, Matthew Broderick. Today. There you go.
Oh, is it really?
Yep.
All right,
Thank
Kate.
you. He says thank you.
My next pick, I always have to shout out Violent Femmes. So my pick is American Music.
Good
It's
song.
probably my favorite song by Violent Femmes, and that's Sing a Lot because I love Violent Femmes.
I only know that one. I only know that one hit from it. That's the only song I know from
Blister in the Sun.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
only song I know from
you
it.
gotta check out the rest of that first album. Check out
I'm
this.
gonna
I'll send,
that
you,
whole
I'll send
fir-
you this
that-
song.
that
That
whole
whole
fir-
first album.
That whole first album
fucking-
is just amazing.
I want to
Yeah,
have
dude.
to because Kate hasn't started me
Oh,
wrong yet.
so
So
good,
I'm gonna
dude.
have to
American
check it
Music,
out.
wasn't that produced by
They're-
Jerry Harrison?
I'm dying. Yeah, they're on tour right now, and they're doing that whole first album, Soup
Oh.
to Nuts. And I'm gonna explode when I go see that.
Awesome.
But
We need to take
but-
videos and we need to put this on the show.
I
Hopefully you
literally
survive.
like
Don't
burst
explode.
into flames. So, my pick on this, I
What
saw
happened to
them
Kate? What
live.
happened to Kate? She spontaneously.
Yeah, I
combusted.
spontaneously combusted.
Spinal Tap, man.
My pick on this one, random thing of going to see them live at a festival. They close it with American music instead of playing Blister in the Sun, which they didn't even do the whole set, which was fucking crazy to me, which was awesome. Close it. The dude rolls out a fucking barbecue grill. John Sparrow plays a barbecue grill as the percussion on this. And I'm like, how badass can you be as a percussionist to roll out a freaking, it was like a Weber grill, like just a regular round with the top, and murders it. So that's my pick with Violent Femmes. And they're just, I don't know what else I could say about them, but we got to keep moving. So, Chris, you're number 2.
All right. Mine is definitely the shortest song on this list, unless somebody pulls out something in the next several. And we're sticking with the metal, and it's the song Twist by Korn. Because
nice.
one of the most badass opening songs in the history of a metal show. If I could ever do that vocalization, I would fucking that would be amazing.
The
Umbapayinas. Yeah, just to watch the pit just go fucking crazy.
Dude, yeah.
Oh, it's just awesome. And
that would have been wild.
Such a banger of a song.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only like a minute.
It's
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Andy.
Yeah, mine. Next is going to be a Pink Floyd song. Now, I do love Pink Floyd, but I love David Gilmour. So it's going to be off of the Division Bell.
Yeah.
With David Gilmour doing vocals and guitar, which I would do on the track Coming Back to Life. I think it's a
great.
beautiful track, especially
awesome
when it starts off with acoustic. A beautifully written song, so heartfelt with so much emotion into it, but still it ends with just one of the most, his guitar playing at the end just going off the rails. Just
Gilmour is so soulful.
Just blistering at the end. So Coming Back to Life.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing about Gilmour. He's not very difficult to figure out, but he's trying to get the same emotion that he puts into his solos. That's hard.
Amazing.
So
I was just I don't listen to Pink Floyd very often, but when I do, it's Animals, and I just happened to listen to Animals today. And
Animals rules.
A great
fucking
record.
album is incredible. And again, Jerry hit it right on the head. Like the stuff that Gilmour plays, and even when he sings, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm a singer. I go for certain things. He's not one of those things. I like his voice. Just doesn't impress me. But his guitar playing is so fucking emotional. It's insane. It's absolutely
powerful.
Side note, there's an absolutely great documentary on Netflix right now about the guys who did all the iconic album covers in the 70s, and I forget what it's called. And when I find it, I can send you all a message. But they did the Animals cover, and
that's the Hippogenus or something like that. Hippogenus.
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. That's what
Hypnosis. Yeah,
Hypnosis, but with a G. Is there a G in there?
Yeah.
But it's so fucking the documentary is phenomenal, and they talk about in detail that album cover specifically for Animals. Also the Wish You Were Here cover where the guy's actually on fire.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I never knew that. I blew my mind when I found that out.
Oh, they were on a lot of drugs doing those album covers.
Oh God, yes. Oh hell yeah,
yeah.
Great documentary.
You know what would be cool if we set somebody on fire and shake his hand?
Well, the guy doing the photo, they were going to, like, the guys who were designing the cover had a plan for how they were going to superimpose that, and the guy who was like a world-renowned at the time stuntman, he insisted on doing it. Like, he was like, no, we're doing this. I'm going to be on fire. Like, that's so
cool. All right, Mark.
Okay, I'm going to change myself into a chick on this one, or a broad.
Nice.
I'm gonna be Ann Wilson on this fucking song. I'm gonna sing "Crazy on You."
Nice.
If I was gonna pick that song, I would want to play Nancy's guitar, because that acoustic intro is one of the greatest.
Oh yeah, that Silver
It
Wheels.
is, but Ann Wilson's voice is just so low and high and low and high. It's so beautiful, and then crazy on
I mean, she's lost a step, but she lost a step, but she can still bring it though.
Oh fuck yeah! I saw her on her last solo album, amazing, at the El Rey. You know, I just noticed they filmed a lot of movies at that El Rey. I saw Night of the Comet. They came out of the El Rey Theater. And I go, I saw Ann Wilson there. I was like, fuck yeah.
I've seen shows on TV from the El Rey. Man, I would love to see a show there at the El Rey.
The El Rey is nice. It's small. It's compact. You're not like sitting,
right?
Yeah, you're just sitting in chairs, dude, on the side and in the middle, and you're spread out, so you don't really like touch people. Freaking great show. I got videos from Ann Wilson there at doing Bridge of Sighs on Freeform Rock Podcast YouTube.
Oh,
yeah, I
at
saw
that theater. Yeah.
If you ever want to watch something phenomenal, if you haven't seen it before, when Ann and Nancy Wilson did Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Honors,
the Rock and Roll Hall,
Jimmy Page
oh
and for Robert Plant and John Paul Jones just sitting there and like they're tearing up, dude. Led Zeppelin.
Kennedy Honors.
Fucking tearing
You
up.
just stole my thunder, Chris. Thank you.
Tearing up at Ann Wilson singing Stairway to Heaven.
So
and
good.
I hate that fucking song at this point. I can't listen to that song anymore.
Oh, I can always listen to that song.
One of the best songs ever written.
I'll listen to that
I
song
heard
anytime
her
it's
sing
on.
that song and it just reinvigorated everything. Like I was like, wow, this song is
Well, I mean, everything worked. They brought the choir in at the end. It just fucking kicked ass. The whole thing worked. That whole production worked. Yeah.
Shout out to our episode of Zeppelin 4 the other day.
Yeah.
Not possibly talk about that album anymore.
I'll talk about it anytime.
That's one of those albums. There's like 5 of them that just are just talked to death.
My favorite Zeppelin album. It's so good.
Sorry. I mean, Misty Mountain
Physical,
might be one of my favorite
Graffiti.
songs. Misty Mountain Hop, Physical Graffiti is my favorite Zeppelin album too.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Misty Mountain Hop might be one of my favorite Zeppelin songs though. I think that's my
that's a hoppy song. I love it.
Rush covered that song before they were famous. Just side note. Anyway.
All right. What Chris was talking about, man, if I could actually have the guts like Nancy Wilson did to be up there to play that intro, it's just her by herself up there. Yeah, it's just her playing that by herself up there in front of fucking Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones.
That's awesome, dude.
And fucking nailed it.
Good for you, man.
Ice in her fucking veins doing that, dude. What a fucking performance that was.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I couldn't hold my fucking guitar.
I'm nervous just talking about it.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, and that whole production of that thing with the choir at the end and all that, and of course having fucking Jason Bonham there playing drums, saluting his dad. I think he was actually wearing one of his dad's hats, I think, on that one, which was kind of cool. But yeah, just a great fucking performance. I would love to, if I had the stones to actually go up there and do that in front of them, holy shit, that'd be awesome to do. But no way, I know the song is easy to play, but in front of them, I don't think I could.
I don't know how easy it is. That's an endurance challenge right there. That song.
True, it is that. Yeah.
And just another side note. Why is Jason Bonham like the coolest guy like in fucking music? And he doesn't ever like, and nobody ever like put that shit on him. Like, you know what like Wolfgang is going through right now, Van Halen, where they're putting all this pressure on him to be his dad. Nobody ever did that to Jason Bonham, like ever.
Well, I
like,
think because he's been around longer. He did have that when he was in the Bonham group. They were comparing him to his dad.
That never happened.
They were comparing him to his dad a lot and say, "Oh, he just got this album deal because of his dad, because he has the name." They did say that about Bonham when he came out with that album in the 80s.
Sorry, I'm as old as you are, probably older at this point or close.
I'm 53, dude.
I don't. Okay, well, you're older than me, you fucking.
You old fart.
You fucking skeleton. But I don't recall that being a thing.
Oh, I do. I do. I remember watching MTV and they talking about that shit.
Be in bed, Mark.
Actually, I agree with Chris. I never heard really any backlash he got.
Nobody's ever put any pressure on Jason Bonham.
It may have. I just didn't hear it.
Well, because his dad died, maybe they gave him and they're not giving. The thing is, Wolf was in Van Halen with his dad, so that's the comparison there.
I mean, it also might have been that Jason Bonham came out like 12 years after his dad died.
But Jason Bonham's never made a solo album really, except for Bonham. But he just played drums. He wasn't the singer. He wasn't the front man of the band. So it's a lot different. Wolf is playing everything on his shit.
I don't think it's different, but I just think.
All right, let's finish this up. All right, Kate, what you got for your finale?
Number 1.
Your encore performance here. Let's hear it.
Encore.
More Kate. There you go.
Woo!
My number 1, if I could ever sing a song live and nail it, would have to probably be Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You.
Oh, wow. A good one.
Talked about that last night.
Absolutely insane. That's why I said a lot of these songs are in the front of my brain. So that version is just absolutely insane, stunning. Her voice, the way she pulls that off, incredible. The whole story behind it being Dolly's song and splitting from Porter Wagner and how she is a brilliant businesswoman. She was asked to do a duet of this with Elvis, and Elvis's manager wanted full rights to it, full publishing rights, and she said no. They never did this duet, but it would have screwed her because when Whitney Houston did it, it becomes a #1 hit in 1992, and she remains the sole person of publishing rights for this and makes an insane amount of money when The Bodyguard drops and this soundtrack drops.
I love that movie.
So great film. Whitney Houston is absolutely stunning. It
effortless.
Is
effortless in that voice. It's incredible.
It is.
Holy crap.
And then the follow-up on that Dolly story.
Oh my God.
She didn't know that song had even been recorded until she heard it on the radio. She didn't know it was coming out. She pulled over on the side of the road.
It was like,
and she was like, "Is that my song?"
Yeah. Yeah.
And she wasn't mad. She wasn't mad.
No,
she was just like,
she goes out on stuff, and she said when that came out, she said that she might have wrote it, but it was Whitney's song.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
she says that, and it's like,
yeah.
Oh, I love when a musician, especially a songwriter like that, could just be like, "Oh yeah, it's their song."
Kurt Reznor did that for Johnny Crash.
That's what I was just literally exactly gonna say. Hurt when Trent Reznor's like, I just channeled it, and it's like, holy crap, it's so cool. And what a cool thing to have someone like, she's such a huge famous star, and then to just be like, that's her song now, like that. Oh man, that song gives me chills every single time I hear it. That long when she hits that one and she is just going, it's like, God damn, if I could ever be like a quarter of how talented she is vocally, like I want to dance with somebody when she does that, and she is absolutely stunning, let alone her voice. She could be grotesque, and her voice is so incredible. And then, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm going to stop and I'll let Chris go.
Whitney's somewhat of a tragedy.
That's one that I thought for like 3 shots that she'd be a good person to do, because it's such a sad, such an incredibly brilliant and gifted performer. Just such a sad life. Yeah.
Damn, Bobby B.
But I had heard and I read, and I was watching a documentary that she had been on drugs for a long time.
Long time.
And she introduced Bobby Brown to drugs.
Long time.
Yeah.
I'm watching a New Edition story right now.
The straight-laced guy.
Seriously.
Until he met Whitney Houston.
It's sad. It's sad because they like destroyed each other's lives.
Yeah,
like you ever have a friends that are a couple that are absolutely horrendous together?
You guys could do a whole Whitney talk about the daughter and her died the same way.
Sad. Yeah, it's really messed up.
And I don't know if y'all remember, but they used to have a reality show, Bobby and Whitney.
Yeah.
Yep.
That shit was crazy. That was some crazy
Bobby
shit.
B. Remember Maya Rudolph did her on Saturday Night Live? Go Bobby B. Get over here, Bobby B.
The 90s were a fucking interesting time, baby.
Yeah.
Wild. I loved it.
Wild.
All right, Chris. Well, take us out with yours.
My #1 goes back to the bass, and that's mostly because my favorite musician of all time is Geddy Lee. And I did not pick another Rush song, but I did pick the song that Geddy has pointed to as one of his most influential, like one of the things that he pointed to as like the bass tone that he came up with. And that was from the great Chris Squire of Yes. And the song is Close to the Edge, because that fucking bass line, just that boom, like that.
Yeah, that's a good one
funky.
right there.
It's so funky under all of that like crazy technical keyboard and guitar stuff that's going on. It's just such a different, like an interesting dichotomy in the way that it's written. And Chris Squire's bass sound is so heavy,
incredible,
so just girthy and deep. I fucking love it. I just love it so much, and it's best exemplified in that song. So
Great pick.
Yeah, great.
everybody says Roundabout. I point to Close to the Edge. So
I'm a big Yes fan. Big Yes
Yeah,
fan.
Yes rules.
Yeah.
do you even like their newer stuff? Like, have you
No,
listened to their newer
not
stuff?
without John Anderson.
I didn't
No.
ask you.
Well, to me, Yes died when Chris Squire died, man. When Chris Squire died, Yes died.
Even with
in my
Chris
opinion.
Squire, those last few Yes albums are horrible. The last one I think was good with what is it?
Talk was good.
Magnification.
was
I'm
good.
talking about magnification.
Magnification was good. I love The Ladder.
The
I love
Ladder
The
was good,
Ladder.
and then John left, and they sucked.
Well, you know, it's
Yeah.
happened before. They tried to make it happen again.
Yeah. I
Alright,
did
anyway.
like their last album because I love the way Steve Howe plays. I think
so
Steve
great.
Howe's fantastic.
I mean, he looks like a literal skeleton, but
yes, I don't know.
He looks like the Crypt Keeper.
Crypt
he
Keeper,
looks
yeah,
like
he
a
does.
literal fucking skeleton. It's incredible.
I've got no idea how he holds up a guitar.
Or
I
how
have
he's
no
even
idea how
alive.
he holds that thing.
Dude, do you have liquid inside of you? Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck,
right.
dude?
And he plays it like a master.
He
And
must
the
be
thing is bigger
horrifying.
than him,
He
weighs
must be
more than him.
He must be horrifying naked. I'm sorry.
His
It
poor
must be some
wife.
horror
Thanks for that
movie-
visual.
That's some horror movie shit right there. Did you ever see Pet Cemetery with that old lady with the fucking bone back? That's him.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark when he was down there in that pit and all those skeletons came out.
It's kind of like
yeah.
on Family Guy when they take the skin off of Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
How about Poltergeist, where he's ripping his face off in the mirror?
Yeah, I remember that.
Crazy, man. Anyway. All right.
All right.
Andy.
Where we at,
All
Jerry?
right, Andy.
I kind of cheated on my number one because that's actually 10 songs.
Ooh.
Is my number one. And Paul McCartney is the one I will channel. The Abbey Road medley from a Because all the way on.
Nice.
And Paul going from piano to bass to guitar, back to the piano and just letting it all out.
That's a good call, Andy. I like that.
It's a good one.
So
Nice
so the
loophole.
Abbey
I
Road
enjoyed
medley, it's beautiful. Right here on this one here, this Abbey Road 50th anniversary. It's got the demo to it. It's called The Long One, and it's really cool because they're talking in between the songs, and they're creating it, and it's so awesome the way that they're talking. And in fact, it's so funny because when they're getting into She's So Heavy, Paul said there's some guy outside, and he's saying we're too loud. And then John's going, it's 2:00 in the morning. Why somebody walking out there? What guy? And then John goes, okay, let's try this one more time. Let's do it as loud as we can. and they just go into it.
And there's some super interesting analysis. There was a video. I got to try and find it, but there's some very interesting analysis about the background noises in that song too. And I Want You, She's So Heavy.
Yeah.
And it probably comes from that. It's probably in the demos. And so I'm now interested in that demo version.
Yeah. This whole thing is fantastic. Just to hear the demos and the skeletals of these songs that make Abbey Road. It's mind-boggling.
Well, that's the one thing
you know what I just found out the other day, that Alan Parsons engineered Let It Be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
That doesn't surprise me, but that's cool.
He did Dark Side of the Moon too, didn't he?
Yeah. That was his big break, was Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
But he was one of the young engineers for Let It Be.
That's
along with Phil Spector.
That's one of the reasons why I love
Phil.
Spector.
That's a good documentary, by the way, on Showtime about Spector.
Wall of Sound. That's why I kind of like the Howard Stern interviews these days, because he stopped like fucking around and like asking real questions. And since these artists like revere him so much, they stay.
He's so amazing from what he was.
2 hours. Yeah, but like they'll stay with him for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and he'll ask questions like, "So Billy Joel, when you were writing this song, what were you thinking?" Like, and Billy Joel will just tell him, "I recall." Da, 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 da. It's such a fascinating thing. He does it with Paul Simon. He did it with Dolly Parton.
Springsteen. The Springsteen interview was awesome. I
Yeah,
thought one of the best.
I highly recommend the Howard Stern. My brother
I
hates
love
Howard
Howard
Stern.
Stern.
My brother hates Howard Stern because he remembers how much of it was obnoxious radio is what it was.
Like
I
like
don't mind
Fart
it.
Man and all
Yeah, and
that.
I don't mind. I don't mind it because I
Fart
came from that. I grew up in that Howard
Right.
Stern and Opie and Anthony and Elvis and Andrew and all those guys.
Mm.
But like
Mark and Brian.
But now he's like this serious interviewer, and like
Yes, it's
whenever he
amazing
gets a
what he's
music,
become.
whenever he gets a music artist in, he's just so fascinated by music. It's so much more interesting. Like I hear him interview actors and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm hearing some interesting gossip.
Yeah.
But like the musician stuff, he gets deep. He gets deep.
Watch him interview Donovan. I love Donovan. Donovan's such a weirdo, and it's such an excellent interview.
I'll have to check that out.
So good.
I've never seen that one.
It's so
check that out too.
I've seen all
it
the
goes
Dave
off
Grohl
the
ones.
rails, but it's so good.
I've seen all the Dave Grohl ones, which I love, and the Billy Joel one is great. Paul McCartney's great. Yeah, look those up if you haven't already.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, let's see, Mark.
Mark, I'll go real quick. Of course, it's the second Rush song I pick on here because I like drums. I always want to play drums, and of course, I'm going to pick Neil Peart on one of the songs that he said was the hardest and most difficult for him to play. So, of course, I'm going to pick Tom Sawyer. I want to play drums on that fucking song. I want to fucking just hit those.
That Philly does at the end of the, it's just is that how fast it is and how, yeah. I'm not saying Neil Peart sucks by any.
Nobody says you do.
You're still with that.
Do you know what the hardest part of that song is? As someone who is an amateur drummer, the fucking hi-hat throughout the whole song.
Everything he's doing on that song is just fucking perfect.
Song.
Perfect.
Insane, dude. That song's crazy.
That's so you done, Mark?
Yep.
Well, my number one is, pretty obvious. It's the best guitar solo, in my opinion, the best guitar solo ever in the history of music. It's Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd. It's still, when I hear that solo, gives me chills. And I've heard that song literally thousands of times, I would say. And I'm not making that up. I mean, still gives me chills every time I hear that middle solo. I mean, it's such a beautiful, the whole song is beautifully written. Forget the lyrics. If you listen to the music behind it, it's just so brilliant. And then David Gilmour lands this killer ass solo in the middle. And then at the outro solo is cool too. But I love to perform that middle guitar solo. It is guitar bliss. It is music bliss, in my opinion.
And it just speaks so many volumes to me about the power of music. God, do I sound like a fucking cliche? But seriously, it's like there are certain songs like the one that like what you're describing there. It sends chills, brings you to like choking up. Yeah. Like to me, like Pieces of 8 by Styx is that song. There's a guitar solo in that song that's not even that hard, but it's just the perfect placement for notes. It's like one of those magical things. Like that is the perfect spot. There's literally 8 notes he could have played. He picked the perfect one. Like
right. Exactly.
It's just, and Comfortably Numb, same type of thing, man. It's just, it's remarkable. And just to end all this off, like there's 5 people sitting in here who just rapped about music. We just talked about 55 specific songs that moved us to my point of this whole exercise is for us to just be able to celebrate specific songs.
I don't think anybody had the same song.
Yeah, there was no duplicates.
No
duplicates.
We had different band. We had the same band, but different songs from that.
Right. Yeah.
But we almost had every genre.
Yep.
I mean, we've trended on death metal, which was Between the Buried and Me. We had country, we had pop, we had rock, we had even Broadway musical, which I picked. Like,
New Wave.
We basically had everything covered. It's fucking remarkable. I love
fun. It was a lot of fun.
Remarkable. Is there any? Do we want to do honorables or no?
I don't have any, but go ahead and mention them if you got them, Chris.
I got a big honorable. I don't think Dave Grohl gets enough respect for being a drummer. The song "No One Knows" by Queens of the Stone Age is the perfect example of how insane he is.
That whole album.
Yeah, it's incredible. And then another Grohl album, if you want to hear great drumming, would be "Them Crooked Vultures." Is just absolutely
great.
There's some supergroup that's excellent.
I wish they could wheel John Paul Jones out for another album.
Ah, man.
And then my other one is I want to be the guy who plays the cowbell on "Don't Fear the Reaper."
There's a lot of Blue Oyster Cult stuff going around lately, so that makes sense.
Blue Oyster Cult shit is great. That's why.
Yeah.
My God, it's good for old men.
I've been getting into a deep dive, and 2 podcasts did a show on him, so it's just weird.
I mean, I don't know how many. I know of only one band who finished their career on arguably their best album ever. So.
All right, so let's end this, Jerry. Let's get some promos going and whatever.
Like I said, thank you guys for being on, and thank you to my co-hosts from 3 Shots Down, Kate and Andy. We just did a show that's going to be released in a couple of days, I assume, more than likely. Yeah. I think.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't answer.
We got some great stuff coming out in the future. Give us a listen, give us a shout out, give us a good review. We'd appreciate it. And thank you again, Chris, man, for being on, dude. It's always fucking great to have you on, man.
Oh yeah, man. Make sure we I've been on hiatus after relaunching again. Fucking start and stop this has been, but unfortunately life dictates what's gonna happen when you're in a non-paying hobby passion like this is, right? Yeah. So but I'm coming back in April fully. There'll be highlights from all these shows that I've been on with all these great people and all the other places I've been. So there'll be short reels just rolling out every day of things that I've done, and we'll also promote my friends here. So I have my own little thing that's going on sorry, Winnie. My own little thing that's going on TikTok as well. Redbeard Videos. Everything is Redbeard Videos. Easiest way to find me. Videos will be posting back on schedule every Thursday and Saturday. And there will be a live stream that's kicking off sometime in April. Hopefully it'll be on Monday evenings and Friday evenings. That's what I'm aiming for live streams. Any of you are always welcome. I'm going to throw out topics every week. And if anybody wants to be on a live panel on the live streams, you guys are welcome.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
that does sound like fun.
And I can assure you that one of the first live streams will be Dream Theater centric big time, because I have a lot to say about Dream Theater and this new Portnoy thing and their new album that they're recording, whatever. Anyway, Redbeard Videos across the board in all the places: Reddit, Discord, Facebook, X or Twitter, whatever, and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and the whole thing, and on YouTube. Please check me out. Please subscribe. Please like. We do it all. I do everything there. So,
all right,
thank
Kate,
you for having me on again, gentlemen.
Always glad to have you on.
Thank you.
Kate, you got any final words?
Check out 3 Shots Down. Check out Black Spinner, other good podcasts you guys can listen to. Mark's on them. You can hear them too. I don't know. That's all I got.
Check out all the local comedy clubs to see the great.
Yes.
Big on live comedy, man. Get into it. Go check out See Live Comedy, support live comedy. If you want to watch some of my stuff, if you hit me up, I'll send it to you. I have it unlisted because you can't have anything public on YouTube because pieces of shit that live across the country will steal your jokes. So if you want to hear,
right, yeah.
If you want to hear a couple of things of mine, I would be more than happy to send you some of my stuff if you hit me up. But yeah, unfortunately, people are like that, and you might not find out that they stole your joke until it's like a hit on TikTok or something. So
what a shitty ass thing to do.
Well, like that guy Carlos, remember that Carlos guy?
There's a bunch of huge Amy Schumer steals a ton of shit too, and there's a bunch of comics that are big that steal stuff from little people, and then what do you do about it?
Yeah,
I don't have a lawyer in my back pocket to protect myself, so I just have to eat it.
And it's so hard to copyright something like a joke.
Yeah. Right.
You can just reword it and keep the emphasis.
Then it's still, So
you have that one joke that I fucking love, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. I mean, I liked a lot of your stuff, but like there was one in particular that I was like, that joke is fucking great.
Thanks.
That is a liftable joke if there's ever been one. So.
Telling your buddies at work is different than taking it on the road.
Of course.
So I don't mind if you're repeating them.
And I even give credit where it's due. My 50% of my vernacular is ripped from stand-up comics. So there you go.
Yeah, it's like people go, "Oh my God, Andy, did you write that?" Yes, I did.
Yeah. No, I give credit. I go. I'll always say, like, do you say your last name's Dore?
Great.
So I'd be like Kate Dory says. Like that's what I would say, and then I would say the
I'd
joke.
be like, who is that?
I'd be
Some
like, don't worry
broad.
about it. You're not cool enough.
Oh no,
yet.
everybody from work knows who Kate is. I'm always talking.
Some
about
broad.
Some broad, coolest broad in the podcast.
Kate doesn't know me yet. I would never say that.
All right, Andy, you got anything to say about?
Oh
what
yeah,
else you got going on?
next week, our baseball podcast starts. Pop the mitt, crack the bat.
Yeah.
Starts next Tuesday.
Opening day, y'all.
Opening day will be
Batter up,
Thursday.
bitches.
And also a Black Spinner Circle with Al Horta. We got a very good, interesting topic going on. Your top 10 albums by a power trio's third album. So ranking the third album by a power trio. It's an interesting topic.
Tough.
I want on that.
That sounds
That's
great.
a
You will
toughie.
be on that then.
All right, well, please send it out.
And
to me.
also, check out three shots down. We are going to be posting our
I could
latest,
probably get that done tomorrow or Saturday. I'll get it up.
our latest.
No
And
pressure, Kate.
next week, hopefully, we'll be
Yeah.
working on Klein Burr. After that, we will be getting into Phil Spector.
Mhm.
So we got a lot of big episodes coming up on Three Shots Down as well. Something that I'm very, very proud of to be a part of. So and again, Mark and Jerry, thanks for having me on here. It's always a pleasure and an honor to be here with y'all talking music and the BS and all that. And it's great to talk to Kate and Chris. It's just a great time. This great community that we've built together. So I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I don't say this very often, but I want to take a big shout out to Mark Alden Taylor.
The biggest promoter of all.
He's given me these opportunities, and I have him to thank for meeting all of you guys. Without Mark, I would not have met any of you guys, I don't think. And that's with a lot of people. So
Mark with a C, y'all.
I gotta give Mark. I don't do it often, but I'm gonna give him a good shout out, man. He deserves it, man.
Yeah,
he's right there. You're not supposed to shout people out when they're right fucking there, Jerry.
I know, man.
Hey, I tell them right to. I tell people right to their face how I feel, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Every time I talk about Mark here at home, I tell my wife, Mark Alden Taylor. She goes, "Okay, you don't have to say his whole name. You just say Mark, and I know who you're talking about."
And
you have to say all three names.
He takes a lot of shit, and I give him sometimes. But man, dude, it's a fucking legend, dude. So
I mean, since we're all dick riding Mark here,
I don't know what the hell am I.
I don't know. He's married.
Am I in Bizarro land right here? What's going on?
I gotta give Mark credit where it's due. He takes abuse like a true bitch. I love it. It's wonderful. No, awesome. In all seriousness, Mark, it says something about who you are and what we all actually see versus what other people want to portray you as, that we're all here and we all talk to you and we're all still part of this. Okay. So none of us have just 3 hours laying around that we won't, that we could be doing other things that might be as enjoyable. So, I thank you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Keep taking those punches, baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Mark. Just do this once for me. 1, 2, 3. Go Astros.
Go Dodgers. Okay.
Can I just ask a question?
Hey, can I just say what we're doing later? Whatever.
No. At what point at Dodger Stadium are they going to start going, Shohei?
Oh, God.
All right, Mark, man, take us out, dude.
All right, man. Tomorrow on Freeform Rock Podcast, we have the Master of Metal, Mr. Metal Mike Tyler. We are doing the last album, which was Jerry's pick, Metal Church Congregation of Annihilation. If you want to know our opinions on there, a lot of people say that's the best metal album of 2023. We will give you our opinions on that. And next week on BS, we are doing our top 11 slasher movies, man. So check that out. And also right now we have Sunflower and a Chicken with Sunflower Fox and a Chicken Leg on Freeform Rock Podcast doing a Everclear episode. Katie Hart is amazing. Check out their band. If you like old 70s heart type rock and roll, Pat Benatar, They are your
Yeah.
fucking band. So check them out. She is amazing. She
Yeah,
made
that
us a
was fun.
freaking promo for our show for Freeform Rock Podcast. Love her. All right, man. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right,
thank
guys.
you guys for all being on here. Chris, Kate, Andy, Jerry, you know I love you guys, man. Let's get out of here, man.
Love you, man.
Mark,
Good
you
time.
guys rule.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Rest
later,
well,
guys.
y'all.
Later. Bye.
Bye.